spread your love. And hear what I'm saying now.
All right, we are live and alive right here on the Vooka Academy. Once again, it's a very beautiful Tuesday morning, and yes, Tuesdays are always about choosing yourself and choosing other things that will come up with today's show, man, on what we have right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. All you need to do is to connect with us throughout our social media platforms. But before I start, man, my name is Mwekiti, my man, and I'm happy to be with you right here. Of course, man, I'm not always alone right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I'm with the one and only beautiful TC Wagomazibuga. Very beautiful morning. And how are you doing this morning, TC?
I'm great, Mo. Thank you for that warm welcome. Hey, Vooka Nation, a grand and peaceful rising. Sanbonani, Dumelang, Absheni. Hello from wherever you are watching. I am TC Gamazibogo Shabalala, your prime cut creative and positivity dose of the day. Umam Shengu, Omuhe, Indobugazi Yawantu, meeting Nina Baye, Vooka Nation. I hope this morning is as fantastic and energetic as I hope that we will make it for you, because the Vooka Breakfast Show is the daily dose of positivity for your energetic start to the day. And of course, we have so much for you. It's Tuesday. What are you choosing today? Are you choosing better health, better finances, yourself, or anything? Let us know. Comment and talk to us using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And of course, you can engage with us via WhatsApp using the number 060-493-3226. But of course, you know what? Yesterday was Youth Day. A very great and commemorative day it was. Literally for us, we were out in the streets of Soweto. You know what? On the ground, talking to you, the Vooka Nation, live and in person. You know, getting mixed up and connected with the community, and of course speaking to the youth, and of course the elders, the people who are the leaders in our communities, where the young ones look up to, and we got their opinions. So you know what, you can watch our episode, our special edition Youth Day broadcast that we did yesterday in Dobsonville, really affectionately known from Musi Miss as a Dob Santon. But you know what? We're going to jump into our daily bread. Something you guys love right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Your picture of the day. I see, Mo, you have yesterday's picture of the day. Again, today, of course, to give the Vooka Nation that boost that they need, to remind them of what yesterday was all about.
Yeah. So speaking of the commemoration of the 1976 youth, man, we know when we talk about Hector Peterson and all that activities and everything that was happening right there in June 17, when you speak about, improving your bucket list and also looking what Soweto has to offer. Today on our picture of the day, as you mentioned, we have Hector Peterson Museum. So it is located in Orlando West, right here in Soweto, commemorates the Soweto uprising of June 16 in 1976, where police fired on protesting students, killing Hector Peterson and many others. Opened in 2002, the museum features photographs, oral testimonies, historical documents, and audio-visual displays that provide insights into the events leading up to the following of the uprising. Positioned near the Hector Peterson Memorial, the museum serves as a powerful tribute to the youth who fought against apartheid and remains a significant heritage site and a tourist attraction. Right? You can talk about South Africa's history without mentioning the Hector Peterson Museum, TC. I am telling you.
Man, absolutely, Mo. It's not just a museum. It's an emotional journey through one of the most powerful moments in South Africa's struggle for freedom.
Yeah, and of course, man, it's right in the heart of Soweto, just steps away from the very place that changed the course of this nation.
So, if you haven't been yet, make a plan. Go walk the path, hear the stories, and honor the youth who stood up for justice.
Yes, man, it is a must visit for anyone who wants to understand the soul of South Africa. And with that being said, it's just around the corner. So to enhance your traveling experience, man, you can check out what we call the Tswelopele shuttle service to make your trip convenient together with your family, your siblings, or anyone that you will be traveling with, man, and just touring Soweto as a whole. Before you get to Hector Peterson Memorial Museum, you can get to see some of the places like the Mandela House, just tour around the Vilakazi Street. So when it comes to the shuttle service, man, I just need you to check this out.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Tswelopele Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Tswelopele Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Ketua Ketumgunu.
On the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
In a very good morning, let us keep you updated with your latest news and sports headlines. On your first headline, another grade 10 pupil shot dead. Activists in Samora Machel, Cape Town demand urgent action after 3 high school pupils were killed in 3 weeks. The Western Cape Education Department has requested police patrols during peak hours for school safety. No arrests have been made. Gunmen fatally shot 15-year-old Azinani Fukula on Wednesday. Her aunt, first on the scene, confirmed she was hit in the face, neck and chest. The family denies claims that she was targeted for witnessing a previous murder. On your next headline, Mashatile calls South African unemployment moral crisis. Deputy President Paul Mashatile calls South Africa's youth unemployment a moral emergency requiring urgent action. Speaking at the youth commemoration in Potchefstroom, he honored the 1976 student uprising while highlighting today's challenges, which are high unemployment, inequality, and limited digital opportunities. He noted that 3.8 million young people are not in education, employment, or training. Mashatile urged the collaboration between government, business, and civil society to address the crisis. He outlined initiatives like entrepreneurship support, the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, and the newly launched South African National Service Institute, SANZI, to improve youth job success. On another headline, EFF leader speaks at Youth Day rally. EFF leader Julius Malema addresses the party's June 16 rally at Kings Wellington Stadium in Umlazi. The event marks 49 years since Soweto youth protested Africans as a medium of instruction facing violent repression. Official reports claimed 23 deaths, but estimates suggest hundreds. Despite their sacrifices, the fight for equality and economic freedom continues. That's all for your news headlines. And now heading over to your sports news, starting off with rugby news. Pepper in England training squad for France match. Bath secured their first premiership title in 29 years with a 23-21 victory over Leicester. England head coach Steve Borthwick has named 9 players from the final in his training squad, including Max Ojomo and Jack Van Potveld. Sam Underhill is included but remains suspended. Ben Curry, Fraser Dingwall, and George Fairbank and Harry Rondell are undergoing rehabilitation. Players selected for the British and Irish Lions tour are excluded. Borthwick will announce his touring squad for summer test against Argentina around and the US on the 23rd of June. Now heading over to your athletic news, Duplantis break pole vault record in Stockholm. Amanda Duplantis broke the pole vault world record for the 12th time, clearing a 6.28 meter at the Stockholm Diamond League. The 25-year-old Olympic champion celebrated his first ever world record set in Sweden, calling it a magical moment. Duplantis, who represents Sweden despite being born in the US, had dreamed in achieving this milestone in his home country. His victory was part of an exciting evening where Andreas Almgren also set a European record in the men's 5,000 meters. Now heading over to your football news, Peter Shalulile on setting FIFA Club World Cup bar for Namibia. Mamelodi Sundowns begin their FIFA Club World Cup campaign against Ulsan HD tomorrow at midnight, followed by matches against Borussia Dortmund and Fluminense in Group F. Striker Peter Shalulile sees his participation as a historic achievement for Namibia, hoping to inspire future players. He expects the tournament to push Sundowns beyond their comfort zone, testing their level against the top global teams. Shadulile anticipates a thrilling atmosphere, acknowledging the pressure but embracing the challenge of competing on the world stage. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now let's keep you safer on those roads with your latest traffic headline with TC Mazibugo standing by.
Vooka Nation, if you are on those roads, here is your traffic update. On your first traffic update, there are roadworks on the R21 northbound at Benoni Interchange. So the right lane has been closed due from the ramp to the Benoni R23. One lane out of 4 has been closed. So on your next traffic update, a stationary vehicle on the N12 eastbound after the Rondebult Road, and then the left lane has been closed, and so do drive carefully in this area. And on your last traffic update here on the Vooka traffic, a crash on the N1 northbound has been reported after the Allendale Road. The right lane is closed, so do drive carefully when you are in that area. And that is it from me, Utisika Mazibugo Shabalala, for your Vooka traffic. So if you do happen to be on the roads, do share your traffic update with us using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and hashtag Vooka Traffic, or send us a voice note using the WhatsApp number 060-493-3226. Now, of course, it's another Tuesday. Let us get you started with your daily dose of positivity for your energetic start to the day.
Yeah, man. Speaking of your energetic start to your day, 23 minutes past 7, it is the time, and you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show, man. Just to remind you on how to connect with us on our social media platforms, we have Vooka Breakfast Show, and right now we are live on YouTube and also live on Facebook. If you want to reach us right here by calling us or sending us your voice note, you can simply dial 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. That is the number that you need to dial. And of course, man, on YouTube, the hashtag to use is hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Mavuga amahle asivugeni. Vooka Nation, let us come together. Let us reason together. Let us engage together on this wonderful Tuesday morning. Yes, it's still the beginning of the week, man. We're looking, towards a lot of things that are going to be happening, announcements that are going to be taking place. It's still a youth month, and speaking of youth month, man, I just need to know in terms of the changes and the improvements that you want to see on these young ones, especially, the youth in itself, what kind of improvements you want to see from them. It's a conversation that we're going to be having for today, just to highlight, because even Paul Mashatile was out there at Potchefstroom, man, talking to young people and highlighting some of the problems that South Africans are facing. So we will want to hear from you. And if you know any young person that you would like to recommend recommend this breakfast show to, please do make sure by sharing the live to them, right? You just go on YouTube, search the Vooka Breakfast Show. We are live right now, and share the link to them. Even if maybe you see it after, you came back from work, right? You are not late to send the link to your friends and families, right? Just can't wait to be with you and unpacking a lot of things right here with the Vooka team. And speaking of the Vooka team, man, they're just right here with me. They will be with me throughout the show and sharing so much that all of you guys have missed, right? I see right there Tembi Mni on YouTube coming through saying good morning team and Vooka Nation, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile, hashtag Mavuga Amahle. And then she comes back and say happy Tuesday team and the Vooka Nation, take care and be blessed. Also Mama Tembi, take care of yourself and have a very beautiful day ahead of you. Vooka Nation, my team is right here, man. I got Steve, I've got TC right here on the table. A very good morning to you guys. How are you doing this morning, man?
Morning, brother, man. Yes, sir. It's early morning, man. Yeah, man. We feel good. Actually,
Yeah.
let me not say we. Eh?
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good. I don't know.
Speak
do you
for
feel
yourself.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Feeling good, man.
Yeah, man.
Feeling good.
Early morning. Woke up kind of late.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Woke up, had my push-ups, and then came straight to work.
As
Yeah,
for
man.
Yeah, man.
push-ups.
Yeah,
As
man.
for push-ups.
What do you mean, bro? What do you mean,
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Fitness.
you have to, you have to, you have
Personal
to.
health is a choice.
Stay
So I love
fit.
that, man, because it's a Tuesday.
Yes,
You know, where we choose better right here. Ketum Tandayo. Keta ok Tandayo. Of course, tell a friend to tag a friend because hashtag Sivugile right here
Yeah.
on the
Yep.
Vooka Breakfast Show. And of course, I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
Like my sister Every Berry would say, berry blaze, the sweeter the sweeter what? The darker the berry, the sweeter the tonton. Yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go.
That's the juice.
Wow. But yeah, man, speaking of being blessed and speaking of being a young person in South Africa, there are a lot of challenges that we face.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was Youth Day commemorating the youth of 1976, right? But I just have a little problem with commemorating. Yes, we know that they were fighting the struggles, and this youth also have their own struggles,
yeah.
and it's struggles that need, to be highlighted, to be brought into the light, so that the leaders or our leaders in the government can see what young people are going through. But I just want to take this conversation and bring it here. Yesterday it was Youth Day. I don't know if for you it's still significant. For you see it as a day whereby you go out and check out initiatives, or you sit around with your friends, smoke some habli, celebrate, drink some beers, because you know what, it's Youth Day. We young, wild and free, right? You're celebrating. So is there a significance of celebrating it, or do you have anything just to say? Yesterday, did you celebrate it? And what was it that was, the most highlighting part for you yesterday?
So honestly, I don't celebrate, bro. I don't celebrate Youth Day since it's been like 3 years since I haven't been celebrating it. One reason is, so yesterday I woke up, went on socials, right?
Yeah.
First thing I see is a reenactment picture of Hector Peterson being killed and everything.
Yeah.
I just don't like that whole thing. Like, we re-killing him again, bro. He already died, man. I mean, why are we re-killing him again, bro? Like, what's going on? Can we not celebrate in a different way? Can we not do something like nicer, man? Like, let's do something. Let it be a family day or whatever. Because normally on Youth Day, people go out, as you were saying, people go out drinking, smoking and whatnot. I mean, hey man, is this really what they died for? I mean, hey man, but it's just how I feel, you know what I mean? That's just how I feel, man. TC, what's your take?
I mean, we were on the streets of Soweto yesterday, right here in Dobsonville, and we were talking to the youth. And of course, the struggle in the current youth is a mental one. And I spoke on that to say we need to free ourselves from the mental slavery. I mean, the youth of 76 was fighting against a system, a regime that was set to oppress them and, limit their opportunities and their growth ultimately, because it was trying to force them to speak a language that spoke to a government that was treating them unfairly with inequality and took away what essentially was their freedom of choice. And of course, since it's Tuesday, that's the part that for me is the most important. And that as much as, yes, we can say certain youth somewhat do not have a choice because of circumstance and of course the conditions and environments that they have to endure or grow up in when we're speaking about the socio-economic issues that they face and the challenges that are currently happening in the townships when it comes to the youth. But ultimately you can choose, you can choose to do better, you can choose to be better, you can choose to do what you can with what you have. You can choose ultimately what your future look like. And like we spoke about, thought leaders and transformational coaches like Saki Padi, who are continuously trying to transform the youth's mind or mental perspective on, life and challenges that we face. I mean, ultimately, failure. We spoke to one young man who has a sneaker wash right here in Dobsonville, close to Kopanong, and how he spoke about, show me your friends and I will show you your future. It's a thing that we choose our friends, we choose our environment as young people, and we ultimately hold the future in our hands. What are we doing with it? What are we doing with the power given to us by the youth of 1976 by saying we are standing up, for you guys. We are standing up for the future. We are standing up to say we want you to be able to choose. We want you to be able to, build that resilience within yourselves and understand what that power means to have that choice. So, I mean, that's what I want to know from the Vooka Nation today. So what are you doing with your freedom of choice?
Yeah, man. And speaking of that picture that we were speaking about, I've got something right here on my screen. So 10 years ago, a picture was posted that discusses the controversy surrounding the recreation of the iconic Hector Peterson photograph, which originally captured the tragic moment of 1976 Soweto uprising. The recreated image sparked a backlash with critics arguing that it was insensitive and undermined the historical significance of the original photo. Many viewed it as a disrespectful appropriation of painful moment in South Africa's history, raising concerns about how historical events should be represented and remembered. And this is the picture. So here we see, this guy. Maybe it's Hector Peterson. He's a graduated student, right there. And he is also working with his fellow classmate, whether it's his parent or
whatever
classmate.
Maybe,
But that's how the picture was recreated, and people see this as disrespectful.
This is exactly what I mean, bro. Like, it's appropriating like what happened. Okay, we know what happened long ago was a painful thing that happened. I don't want to say it needed to happen, but it happened either way,
Yeah.
Let's move past that. Let's not recreate the old pains. Like that's like having a wound that's healed, and then I come through with salt. I open up that wound. I pour in some salt in there and stuff. I mean, nah, bro. Let's just let it be, man. Let's respect the day. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful in my opinion.
Hence, we need to create our own. That will speak to the significance of what the youth is doing today. A lot of young people in the artistry. There are a lot of young people in the spaces, of making sure that our country is improving and making sure that, we are given necessary resources to push, towards the limits that the regime came with. Young people were oppressed back then, but we spoke about the power that the 1996 youth 1976 the power that they gave to 2025 youth, and the youth in the past years, because when it comes to being free, when it comes to roaming, back in the days, it was not allowed. If they got you on the street, it's either they take you to school or they will find a job for you to do something.
Hey, you'd be recruited into the military.
Yeah. So now we have young people roaming the streets. Now we have young people sitting around in the corners and have nothing to do, and they don't even have an idea where to start. Right. So. It's those struggles when we look at the youth of 1976. What were they trying to fight for? Were they trying to fight for young people, have accessibility? Because access is one of the things that was being fought for. So are we saying that the youth today is free because of the youth of 1976? Because what we see being done in the streets of Soweto, in the streets of Johannesburg, was not done. You were not even allowed to roam freely. You were not even allowed to go anywhere you want to go. But now you're allowed to go anywhere. But now, that freedom, that abundance that people have been given, it's like power without structure. It's chaotic. Right? So we are in this era whereby, yes, you can be given education, you can get education, but now, in order for you to restructure and become the person that you want to be, see yourself out.
But also, Mo, we need to talk about the quality of these things, right? I mean, the quality of the education. And like I said, the struggle of today is a mental one. I mean, yes, back then it was also mental, but also it had to do with physical oppression, where you were, separated, hence the term apartheid. It's a term to say, no, we were separated according to creed, according to color, according to race, all of that. We were separated and made to live in a certain way. But now, fast forward, it's 2025, hence how that image was recreated using tools like AI. Looking at that, I mean, he's got a graduation, what I assume is a graduation gown with, that hat, the graduation hat, and he's got a paper, maybe that's like his, certificate. He looks happy. And then obviously Usista there on the thing. And obviously Hector is not in the picture because that is not Hector, right? These are not, that's not, but now I think it also just speaks to the fact that we face now a different set of struggle, one that is mental, one that has to do with education and how we view that, right? I know in a way, like I'm saying, it's disrespectful to the significance of that moment, but also it speaks to what the struggle is today. And it's one of education, it's one of get yourself equipped, get yourself skilled in order to be able to be a productive contributor in society. Because the fight today is one of skill. It's one of where are you in this world when it comes to perspective? Because I mean, mental health is a huge discussion when talking to youth and talking to society today. Unemployment is a huge discussion, but also how are we viewing these challenges? Are we viewing them to say, okay, I mean, they've existed, right? And they've been in existence for a while now, but how are we challenging them? How are we transforming them for ourselves? I mean, I spoke about the movement here at the Vooka Breakfast Show, Vukuzenzele, right? It's a mindset. You must wake up and get it. The woke gang, the woke youth. Who are you going to sit and say, no, but the government, or are you going to take it upon yourself to say, what can I do with what I have, and how can I, propel myself forward and use certain things to catalyze myself and my future to go for progress. So it's in the mind, and I talk about it and how I'm a mental health advocate, because I've realized that once somebody conquers this, they've conquered you.
It's chai.
Yeah.
It's chai, man. It's done. You will never view anything in life the same
Chai.
ever again, and that is why I say, people need to take care of their minds and be careful of how and what they consume when it comes to social media. We cannot allow social media to raise our youth. We cannot allow social media to determine our values, our principles, because that is where then we come up with these terms like the lost generation. Because then they are lost. There is so much going on. I mean, the social media and media in itself is propagandized, right? It is it's made to try and steer society into a certain direction for the benefit of whatever, right? The powers that be, or whatever you may call it. Others call it Illuminati, others call it whatever, but sources that are much higher than what we are. So that is why even how we were people, the debate had to go around allowing Starlink to be our only USP, right? ISP, sorry, not USP, ISP. Do you understand? It's those kind of things. It's like, where would we ultimately be if we only had one voice? But as much as the youth of 76 had one unified cause, what is our unified cause as the youth of 2025?
Yeah, the conversation still continues right there. Tell us what you think. And speaking of continuing a conversation that will lead to your engagement right there at home, there is a poll that we're going to be, creating right now for you, and vote, based on the statement or the question that you see right there on your screen. So, the question is, do you think recreating historical photographs is a respectful way to honor the past, or an insensitive act that diminishes the original significance? A, it's a respectful tribute. B is insensitive. C, it depends on the execution. And D, you can vote that you're not sure, right? Because you're trying to understand what is the motive that is being pushed by recreating pictures. I mean, we are seeing videos of AI, coming through,
True.
and showing us about I saw this one of the black people civilization, African civilization, man. And with those one, I think it does.
Can you give us context?
Like the African civilization.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that right now, when you look into 100 years back, the only thing you can find is the oppression, against black people. The history that we are being fed is that black people, were held against their own will. They were working the farms. There was also apartheid, right? But when you look on those AI videos, they give you the full context of how Africans used to live before slavery, before colonialism, before the white men came into the land, right? So people are just getting this beautiful view, of how Africans used to live.
When the big go was still the big go.
Yeah. So people, I mean, I'm part of that generation that was not exposed to speaking, about Africans in a nice way. When you study history, it's always those bad things. Our history, it's these people.
Horrible.
It's horrible,
stuff,
man.
yeah.
It's horrible. You never even read about a case study, whereby maybe Chris Hani was out somewhere doing something nice without fighting, speaking without fighting.
Normal life.
Yes,
how
normal
like
life,
and how
man.
normal life was.
Yes.
How the standard way of living was back in those times. How we used to farm the land, speak to the land, how we walked around in our natural beauty. How that was viewed as uncivilized, and how we needed to be clothed. And now it also comes back to now, nudity, right? Back, I mean, women, people as Africans,
Used to
we literally wore loincloths.
Yeah.
We had our way of living that spoke to who we were as a nation, as a people, right? And then with that, it reminds me so much of like how of this of that story in the Bible of Eden.
Yeah.
How we were just how in the Bible it's like it's whereas Adam, it was Eve, they were roaming.
Yeah.
And they had no clothes, and then they bit into
The
you know
apple.
the apple,
Uh-huh.
and then suddenly it's like, oh, I need to be clothed. I need to be this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I sometimes think. Yeah, but anyways, that's just me.
Yeah.
It's things like that. Like how was when they talking about the African Kemetic calendar? What is that? How was that life? When they say we migrated from Egypt, we were kings and queens.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I mean, I remember meeting an Egyptian man who was like, "Do you know that in Egypt, where I'm from, there's a place where." People who are darker than you are, they live, and those were the first, you know, that was the first civilization.
Yeah.
And these people still exist, and they are so respected. It's almost as if they are the ancestors of Egypt, and how, you know, Egyptian history has also just a little bit been whitewashed.
Yeah.
To say, I mean, why are the Sphinx's noses cut
It's
off?
not even a little bit of whitewashing. It's a whole lot of
It's a whole,
whitewashing.
you know, why are the Sphinx's their
noses
noses? Why are they
chopped
chopped
off.
off?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and because it's a thing of perhaps we don't want you to see who you were,
Yeah.
so you can always be who we wanted you to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, right now what we are seeing is AI is just bringing a lot of those woke mindset. You know,
Yeah.
to say, come on, guys, as an individual thinker, think, you know, about how black people used to live. You know, because. Throughout the world, when you look at the greatest nations, I mean, an example, you look at monarchies.
Yeah.
Monarchs, they, you know, date back to the first whatever king, you know, they just come through. They will give you the list of the whole people who have been kings. You know, even the dynasties, man. It's you know, it's a pattern, you know,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
comes from that dates back to 1,000 or 100,000 years, right? So if that is being stripped away, you are stripped of your whole identity.
Your whole identity,
You
that's-
know, you're
yeah.
going to roam around trying to find what is your true, you know, identity. Then that's where you adopt other people's identity and think it's yours. Hence, when you try to align yourself, you ask yourself, what is going on with me? Because whenever, you know, I'm trying to grasp on this thing, it does not last. So, like, it doesn't even take time. Maybe it's only 2 years. You're trying to, you know, become a religious person, and then when time goes on,
You're
it's
like,
like,
nah,
it's
not
it's
this,
not,
not
man.
this. Yeah.
You go into initiation school, you try, you know, heal people, but it's not your thing, you know. So if you know, we had that history that spoke to us into, okay, we had a king, whoever, King Munzumela, you know, whoever. And then we follow the history, we follow on how things were being done, how the land, you know, were worked, you know, how they believed. Because you can't say, you know, black people back then, they were that stupid to a point that they didn't even know how
Bro,
to utilize.
black people weren't stupid, bro.
They
Black people
weren't.
stupid, bro.
Very, very
You know,
much so.
I
We were
mean-
never I'm gonna say mentally impaired.
Yeah.
We just had a way
True.
of life.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and that way of life was a way that we developed that worked for us.
Yeah,
It worked with
totally.
our environment. It worked with the universe.
Yeah, yeah, man. And speaking of, you know, commemorating June 16, yesterday Mashatile, man, was speaking right there at the Porches Room. He honored the 1976 student uprising while highlighting today's challenges with which is your high unemployment. But he said today we honor the brave youth of 1976 who stood against apartheid and sparked a national movement for freedom and justice. Their actions laid the foundation for the democracy we enjoy today. As we mark 49 years since the Soweto uprising and the approach 70 years of the Freedom Charter, we are reminded that young people have always been at the forefront of change. Yet today, many young South Africans face a harsh reality, and that reality includes over 50% of youth aged 18 to 34 are unemployed. 3.8 million are not in education, employment, or training. Nearly 1 in 4 graduates still struggles to find work. This is a national challenge and a call to action. This year's theme is called Skills for a Changing World. Embracing youth for meaningful economic participation reflects our commitment to invest in youth through skills, entrepreneurship, and opportunity. Let us honor the youth of 1976 by building a future where every young person can thrive. That is where we are as South Africans, as these initiatives, they keep on coming, and they are created so that this youth can be empowered to the fullest. And one of the new initiatives that have been created, it's called the SANZI, which stands for South African National Service Institute, and it is aimed to improve youth job access.
Wow.
So many young people, they do not have work, and they are not placed at a workplace. So this one, it will help a lot of young people in South Africa to make sure that they are placed in workplaces. And also when it comes to education, man, I think one of the most challenging aspect about our education is what this elder who we were speaking with yesterday is that our education trains us to remember, not to think for ourselves, right?
Oh, how sad is
Deep.
that, bro?
That's
sad.
why I said, man, the struggle is here.
Yeah, it's in the
really
mind.
It is about your brain. It's
You know?
about your mind. It's about your perspective.
Yeah.
It's about your outlook on life. And I love it when people call themselves students of life, like how Saki Padi calls himself a student of life, because it means, you know, when you use life as your teacher, you can never fail.
Yeah, man.
It's
Even
yours.
Yeah.
even Latino Pounds said on this song that I think it's what do you call it? Pray for Pitori, the album. No, he said he graduated on the streets.
Can you
Right?
imagine?
No, he grew up in the streets and he graduated on top of pain, right? So it's what a lot of guys and people are going through in our nation. And our school system has created people who are narrow-minded. I remember, and I've seen it, and I've always asked myself, you know, when I think one of my teacher, like I always paid attention to her, you know, and she was like, guys, please use your own words. You know, like she really emphasized it, but
Use your own
yeah, we couldn't
words.
understand. You know, every time when we write an assessment, she could see that, man, this is bad for kids. You know, she understood that it's bad for kids. Hence, she will always, guys, I urge you.
Use your own
Use your
words.
own
No
words.
plagiarism,
Oh, and
yeah.
and it was not clicking in a lot of people, right? It was not clicking in a lot of people that she is trying to encourage individual thinking. You know, use your own mind. Hence, sometimes they will say, you know, explain this in your own words.
your own words,
You know,
yeah,
in your
yeah,
own
yeah. I
words.
remember those.
How would you describe this? And a lot of people were scared to do that because now you have been trained that no, I have to answer a correct answer. You're given 10 questions, right? And then the 9th one, all you think about is when they say, tell us about yourself. You become skeptical, like,
Yeah,
"Ah,
you're
my
not
God,
sure what
I
to
need,
write."
I need to answer, you know, according to the model, you know, according to the structure that I've been given. So you're going to use those parts of the assessment. Maybe you are going to try to find something right there at the top
That they can
and
link
you
together.
link
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
You know, that's where we are, man. That's where we are. And it is very sad. It is very sad. So our education need to be widely spread so that people can be promoted into the world of being individual thinkers.
Thing is, when it comes to education, man, a lot of people have this perspective to say, when we talk about education, we're talking
Yeah.
about our lawyers, we're talking about doctors.
Exactly.
And education is very, very broad, bro.
It's broad.
Did you know there's NSA, bro. Not a lot of people know about NSA, National School of Arts. Yes, that is a form of education still.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
go there, they learn how to, use images like drawing, use images to tell a story.
Yeah.
Some people go there, they learn how to use actual words
Yeah.
in poetry and stuff like that. So education isn't this one street.
Yes.
It's a very broad street, man.
Yeah, true, because I think when you speak about context,
Yeah.
Everyone right now is like, yes, Madiba said education is the key to success, but now not the education that you're thinking
Exactly,
of, not the
exactly.
syllabus, my friend, not the
Yeah.
textbook.
Yeah.
You can't always think about a textbook when they say education.
Education, no,
You
bro.
there's financial education,
There's a lot.
there's sex education, and there's
know?
education that's available out there, hustlers education, man.
Yeah,
People are
man.
giving out free advices to become, a hustler, how to survive on the street. It's a broader education. So it's something that as young people, we need to come with these initiatives that are going to promote individual thinking, so that our societies and our communities can improve. And one of those things is, taking away the stigma of what Soweto is labeled as. Because a lot of people, they still think that Soweto is full of criminals. It's a place whereby, if you just come in, anything bad to you will happen, right? And it's not even like that. So it's some narrative that we need to change so that South Africans can feel free to come and explore the opportunities that Soweto has to offer. I got Zinzi right there saying, good morning, Vooka Nation and Vooka team. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Sivugile this side in the East Rand. Of course, man, people are waking up and starting to join the chat. Let us engage, speak to us, man. If you want to dial us in or send us your voice note, we would like to know how you spent your youth day. And some of the questions that we are still asking right here, the poll is still up. Is recreating historical photos a tribute, or does it reduce their original meaning? You can vote right there and just tell us if it's insensitive or respectful tribute. Depends on the execution, or you are not sure. Just vote right there and tell us what you think. And Banela coming through saying, sometimes I can't help, but I think some of the youth of 76 are gatekeepers. Perhaps they feel we don't deserve freedom because they fought and ended. We are victims of being born after 76. It's something that I was speaking about yesterday. Our government is skeptical of handing over the power to us
To the youth,
because
man.
they feel like we do not understand the meaning of the power. We don't understand.
And we understand it fully, man.
Yeah.
Fully. I mean, we won't make foolish mistakes in the parliament. Like, for example, did you see what the judge on that case on what's the soccer player's name again?
Senzo Meyiwa. Yeah,
case.
yeah.
The judge went there and started speaking in racial slurs, bro. Like, you can't be racist as a judge. So that's one example.
Yeah.
I can, if it was one of the youth being the judge,
Yeah.
that mistake was never gonna happen. Such things, bro. Such things. So
You kind of understand the insensitiveness, of being in a certain space, that you are not supposed to speak in a certain way when you're in
Exactly.
a certain place. We understand that this matter, this case, is indeed sensitive. But now, when we look back, man, yes, there are gatekeepers, because as of right now, when that 500 billion came out in COVID, oh, Jesus.
my dog.
What
happened
people,
to that money?
ants started to, let me not say ants, but people started coming back from exile,
Bro, what happened?
That's the
I mean,
end.
a lot of things
but-
happened. Even today, man, there's no explanation of what did the money do, because it is a lot of money.
What can
How
you
it
do with
went to you guys
520?
as 370s, 350s. I can
350s. Nah, bro.
They
that
gave y'all
can't-
350s.
No,
Yeah,
bro.
but when the money got here, they said this money is to improve the country's economy.
Yeah.
People are going to be employed. Factories are going to be built.
You're instead, they closing down.
Bro,
They're
let's not-
closing down. Their businesses are going
Bro.
to be, given money, to continue to
My
operate
dog.
in the normal days.
Bro, we don't even have to look at factories being built. Simple things such as a pothole, bro.
Yeah.
How many potholes have you seen coming here?
Yo, don't even. There are
Exactly.
certain
So-
streets where I'ma take our phone kamba because they're like, you are my portals and
See what I
so
mean?
when you come here, there's a place called a hectare. Lapaya, when you're coming
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Tepisong to Dobsonville.
T Junction.
They don't like taking that road. A hectare, hi, hectare.
Yeah,
But
yo, I know by
I'm
the
a pothole.
Yo, man, yeah, I think it's by the bridge, man.
There's so many,
Yeah, by the bridge,
yeah.
Maudlula, and then there's that curve. Oh, man, it's bad. Man.
Yeah.
It's very, very
But I-
bad, man.
These people are the gatekeepers of the 500 billy. Where did that 500 billy go,
A
bro?
belly.
Ah, come on, man. We need our money, bro. But yeah, bro. Hey,
Yeah, man. And it's also the money that they promised that is going to feed artists. You know, a lot of artists were hungry. A lot of artists, they were complaining
not
that,
even
yo,
worse.
man,
Still.
you guys spoke about the grant. You know, where's the grant? Because as artists, you know that we survive with the gigs. So
Yeah.
if you close the doors, we can't eat, man. You know, we go hungry. So it's some of the things that when you look at people who are in power and using it, they're not using it in a good way. You know, so when you're looking into the present government right now, because Mashatile was celebrating that, okay, there's a national unity that we have formed. You know, they are no longer opposing each other's ideas. So they have to celebrate this, milestone of coming together, and working towards building a better South Africa for all.
Man, you see, when working towards building a better South Africa for all,
Yeah.
why don't, bro, look at the parliament, right?
Yeah.
So, as a person that's works a normal job,
Yeah.
at 60 you retire, right?
Yeah.
Look at your parliament, bro. 60-year-olds, 80-year-olds up in there. What's going on? Where's the youth, bro? Why can't you let the youth inside?
I mean, maybe in SA, youth is like 70 upwards.
yeah.
Maybe it's
Hey,
this
Aye,
other
bro,
way.
and then we the
Aye,
elders.
could
then.
I-
We the
We
elders.
the
man.
elders,
I
then,
think
if
that's
that's the
how
case.
it's swapped around. You know,
Topsy
It's-
turvy.
yeah, man. If you're a young person, because even the people who are getting tenders, man, it's old
It's
people.
old people,
You
bro.
know,
It's old people.
yeah, even old people in the township. You know, they even crying for employment. You know,
At this point,
Sisembini,
at this
guys.
yeah,
point-
because a 70-year-old
Bro.
guy in Soweto is like 26 years. Man.
At this point, man, I might as well vote for the EFF, man, because that's the only youth we have currently, bro. Right?
Yeah,
I might
man.
as well vote for the EFF.
Because
man.
Malema still emphasizes that, as much as we're still struggling, we will never let Elon Musk disrespect us in that way.
You see what I mean? Standing up.
Yeah, standing up and saying, you know what, if Stalin comes here, we will fight. We will fight, right? Because now it's going to change a lot of things in South Africa and how the diplomacy is going to be looked at
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
Well, I want to test the Vooka Nation on the facts. If they know certain facts about Youth Day in a game that we are going to play after doing the news and traffic recap.
Yeah.
Because again, it's the top of the hour. It's 1 minute past 8.
top of the hour.
So we are going to do the news, sports, and traffic update recaps, and then we're gonna come back with a game to test your general knowledge on Youth Day. So don't go anywhere, because I want to know if you still know your facts. So something I realized yesterday, one of the guys that we interviewed on the streets, on the ground, I remember when I was just talking to him still
Yeah.
about, he asked me, so what are you guys, because he's seeing we filming on the street.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, no, we doing a Youth Day special, and we're going around talking on the. He's like, I'll mostly talk about what I know now as the youth of now. But hey, when it comes to 76 and the
When it comes to
Soweto
the past,
uprising,
hey.
I'm a bit shaky. I'm not familiar. And that's when I was like,
I see.
Aye, there's a need to refresh those history lessons, man. And of course, we will be doing that right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, because we also still have our daily bread coming up. We're still gonna have Today in History and your word of the day for today, and what that is. And don't go anywhere, because that's obviously what we do here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, improving your vocabulary
Go nowhere.
and of course refreshing you on those history lessons. Don't go anywhere. Let's go for a quick break before we jump into our news and sports headlines recap.
Yeah, before we go to that short break, man, let us just give you your recap of your news and sports headliner. The first headliner, another grade 10 pupil shot dead. Activists in Samora Machel, Cape Town demand urgent actions after 3 high school pupils were killed in 3 weeks. The Western Cape Education Department has requested police patrols during peak hours for school safety. No arrests have been made. Gunmen fatally shot 15-year-old Azinani Fukula on Wednesday. Her aunt first on the scene confirmed she was hit in the face, neck and chest. The family denies claims that she was targeted for witnessing a previous murder. On the next headline, Mashatile calls SA unemployment a moral crisis. Deputy President Paul Mashatile calls South Africa's youth unemployment a moral emergency requiring urgent action. Speaking at Youth Day commemoration in Potchefstroom, he honored the 1976 student uprising while highlighting today's challenges: high unemployment, inequality, and limited digital opportunities. He noted that 3.8 million young people are not in education, employment, or training. Mashatile urged collaboration between government, business, and civil society to address these crises. He outlined initiatives like entrepreneurship support, the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, and the newly launched South African National Service Institute to improve youth job access. On a recap on the last headline, EFF leader speaks at Youth Day rally. EFF leader Julius Malema addresses the party's June 16 rally at King's Wellington Stadium in Umlazi. The event marks 49 years since Soweto youth protested Afrikaans as a medium of instruction facing violent repression. Official reports claimed 23 deaths, but estimates suggest hundreds. Despite their sacrifices, the fight for equality and economic freedom continues. Now, that's all for your news headlines. Heading over to your sports recap news. Firstly, on the rugby news, Pepper in England training squad for France match. Bath secured the first Premiership title in 29 years with a 23-21 victory over Leicester. England head coach Steve Borthwick has named 9 players from the final on his training squad, including Max Ojomo, Jack Van Poortvliet. Sam Underhill is included but remains suspended. Ben Curry, Fraser Dingwall, George Fairbank, and Harry Randall are undergoing rehabilitation. Players selected for the British and Irish Lions tour are excluded. Borthwick will announce his touring squad for summer tests against Argentina and the USA on the 23rd of June. Heading over to athletic news, Duplantis breaks a pole vault record in Stockholm. Amand Duplantis broke the pole vault world record for the 12th time, clearing a 6.28 meter at the Stockholm Diamond League. The 25-year-old Olympic champion celebrated his first ever world record set in Sweden, calling it a magical moment. Duplantis, who represents Sweden despite being born in the US, had dreamed of achieving this milestone in his home country. His victory was part of an exciting evening where Andres Almgrens also set a European record in the men's 5,000 meters. On the football news, Peter Shalulile on setting FIFA Club World Cup bar for Namibia. Mamelodi Sundowns began their FIFA Club World Cup campaign against Osana HD tomorrow at midnight, followed by matches against Borussia Dortmund and Fluminense in Group F. Striker Peter Shalulile sees his participation as a historic achievement for Namibia, hoping to inspire future players. He expects the tournament to push Sundowns beyond their comfort zone, testing their level against top global teams. Shalulile anticipates a thrilling atmosphere, acknowledging the pressure but embracing the challenge of competing in the world stage. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now let's get back to your daily dose of positivity, accompanied by that energetic start to your day.
Such cool and amazing stuff, only and exclusively right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. A huge shout out to Make It My Money for giving us that news update on a Tuesday morning, the 17th of June, 2025. And look, man, I'm excited and I'm happy to be in your presence. Looking forward to having a great energy exchange and, of course, have all-encompassing compelling and thought-provoking conversations that are aimed at giving so much information and knowledge, discussions with industry professionals, and of course, these are also aimed at having great mindset shifts. Ke a go dumedisa ngwana ko gae, ebile ke a go amogela to what promises to be your favorite, or what should by now actually be your favorite rendezvous. And if perhaps this is the first time that you're spending some time with us, you're also welcome. Ke a go dumedisa le wena, ebile ke a go amogela to what really promises to be your favorite rendezvous, only and exclusively right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Always spending some time with myself, the one and only MOOCEE Mr. My name is Musi Mr. and I'll be taking care of you Monday to Friday, every weekday morning between the hours of 7 and 10. And, you can also share your thoughts, your opinions, and everything else in between with us across all our social media platforms using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms, but it needs not end there. It can also continue on our WhatsApp line. Send through those voice notes. Hit us up, man. Video call us, live, so that we can see your face and hear your voices. The number to dial for WhatsApp is 060-493-3226. So that's 060-493-3226. I can't wait to hear from you. Mr. Mo, talk to me. How's it going, my brother?
Yeah, man. A lot of things are going, man. A lot of things are going as we are just having this conversation about, the Youth Day. But speaking, and before we get to that, man, Afriberry, good morning, and how are you doing this morning, man?
Yeah, good morning, Mo. I'm doing okay. Just my sinuses acting all loud, but otherwise, I'm doing okay. Hey, thank you for asking.
Yeah, man. That's what we do right here, man. We just keep ourselves warmer. We are, our medicine. Some people believe that laughter is their medicine, but this show, man, Vooka. But just hearing Vooka, you will get healed and you will get yourself warm and prepared for what the day has to bring. As we're still on a Tuesday, man, we just want to know, what are you choosing? And also the poll is still up, man. I know that for now and for this month, we are choosing Youth Month. And everything that has to do with youth empowerment is something that we need to wake up to each and every morning when you are waking up. Just think of a young person who is struggling and having challenges. Right, so throughout this month and throughout this week, everything is going to be about the youth. Youth empowerment is what we are promoting. So, if I have to ask, guys, did you guys do anything yesterday? In commemorating of the 1976 and celebrating a Youth Day right here in South Africa? What were you doing? Did you have any plans? Were you sleeping, or you were not just doing anything? What were you up to?
I was busy just folding the laundry, making sure that I iron out the kids' uniform. Nothing big.
Yeah, man.
So basically just a chill day at home with the family. I
mean, it goes back to what Steven says, like, for me, I don't see the need of, celebrating it, right? And it's true, because now the significance and the meaning behind it to say, okay, if you want us to celebrate June 16, what do you want us to do? Because that's what people do. Compared to they were spinning BMWs yesterday.
I didn't hear, but I'm seeing this morning.
Yeah.
They're trying to sweep up and clean. But it's a yearly thing.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing.
Yeah, one would want to understand, because I think, yes, it is officially a sport, right? But now...
spinning and Youth Day have nothing to do with
like trying to understand, why would you try, and spin the Hot Wheels on Youth Day, man,
Alcohol and sports have nothing to do.
Yes, alcohol and sports.
No, I'm not trying to make it as if it's like a thing. But what I'm trying to say is that Mr. B, it's a thing we grew up on. I myself grew up on that. On the 16th of June, hospital. I remember 2 years ago, police came actually and shot people with rubber bullets to try and disperse them.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing that became nje kokasi, and people are used to it. It's actually out of the norm if it doesn't happen on the 16th of June every year. When it's like, how guys good in this year, why? But you're also right, Mr. P. Alcohol and sports have nothing to do with each other. But I think with the alcohol, people celebrating in the world is associated with the consumption of alcohol.
Yeah,
I think it shouldn't be a thing. It's not a thing. Like, no one declared it anyway. But I don't celebrate the whole of night. No, chief, something come tell. No, just watching Chile made a wine, and they were celebrating. It was at a wedding, chief.
I mean, that's why I feel like some habits, man. I think we need to outgrow them, because if you grow up, seeing your dad, doing a certain thing on a certain day just for celebrating and commemorating maybe his friends, it's like, man, I'm doing it because when you're asked why are you doing it, man, my dad always do it. He does it each and every year. My dad, he will buy this, certain brand of alcohol and celebrates. Because yesterday when we were walking in Lebanese, like we literally saw a group of elders, man, sitting around celebrating, drinking alcohol.
Yeah, what about you?
Nah, come on, man, come on. What are you gathering for? Like, what's
drinking
the gathering
is a sport,
for?
chief.
Come on.
Drinking is a sport. Alcohol consumption is a sport. There's people who cannot hold their alcohol more, so they need to hold it down, chief. They need to hold it down.
These behaviors are behaviors that needed to change. But speaking of change, man, I have the quiz that TC was speaking about right here, and I think it's for all of us right here, because I don't even have the answers right here, right? So even if I read the question, I mean, I wouldn't know what's the answer here. But by using my own knowledge, and the history that I have learned, maybe some of them I'll just try to say, okay, that is a correct answer. But this is the quiz that is aimed at the both of you guys, just to test your, history and your youth day knowledge, if I can put it like that. So the first question is, what sparked the Soweto uprising on June 16 in 1976? Answer A, there's three answers, right? So the first answer is Afrikaans instruction, protest school fees, and better infrastructure.
A better infrastructure, man. Better infrastructure, I'm kidding.
So, what is your final answer? The question is, what sparked the Soweto uprising on June 16 in 1976? The first answer is Afrikaans instruction. B is protest school fees, and C, better infrastructure.
A,
Musi?
A better infrastructure, man. No, man, it was the teaching and learning of, or the use of Afrikaans as a medium of communication for teaching and learning. Yes, sir.
And of course, the answer is correct.
It's correct. Hey, we're not also
It's correct. And then the second question. Yeah, she
my
said
answer is
A. And then the second question is, who was Hector Peterson? Answer A, a teacher protest leader. Answer B, a student. And answer C, a photographer.
B.
Musi?
Please repeat the options
A
again.
is teacher protest leader. B, a student. C, a photographer.
He was a photographer. Come on, man.
That's your final answer.
No, man. He was a thing. Come on, a student.
A
It was
student.
B, yeah.
And your answer is correct. And then, what is June 16 officially recognized as in South Africa today? Answer A, Freedom Day. Answer B, National Heritage Day. Answer D, Youth Day. C, sorry.
Repeat it again.
What is the June 16 officially recognized as in South Africa? Right? A is Freedom Day. B, National Heritage Day. And C, Youth Day.
If it's Heritage Day, you know. No, Mama Nene something up already died. It's Heritage Day.
Heritage Day. But yeah.
Yeah, it's Youth Day.
Heritage Day.
It's Youth Day, my bro.
Answer is correct. And then the second last question. When was the Hector Peterson Museum opened to commemorate the Soweto uprising? Answer A, 1996. Answer B, 2002. Answer C, 1994.
When was the
Hector Peterson Museum opened to commemorate the Soweto uprising? A, 1996. B, 2002. C, 1994.
We don't have it, and I've been saying that we need to have it.
Okay, I'll go with yo museum. I mean, I've been there. No.
Yeah. You need to say your final answer at the same time, right? In 3, 2, 1.
2002.
That's about. Okay, I'm gonna go for A.
A, 1996. And the correct answer is 2002. Yeah.
Because in 1996 is too early. It was 2 years after
Yeah.
South Africa, so it makes sense for it to go 2002.
And the last one is what was one of the major outcomes of the Soweto uprising? A, and apartheid. B, international condemnation. And C, democratic government.
Ooh. What was that?
What was
outcome.
one of the major outcomes
Major
of the Soweto uprising?
uprisings? Ooh.
And apartheid, international condemnation, democratic government.
I'll go for C.
C is your final answer.
Hey, man. Yeah, yeah, to end apartheid. Yeah.
What's the correct answer? Correct answer is B.
International condemnation.
Mm.
The major outcome. Wait, what is this
Of
based
the
on?
Soweto uprising.
So basically,
Oh,
that's
okay, no, you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I misheard, misunderstood the question. Okay.
Bashayele yona. Yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, man, that is testing the knowledge of, your youth day or youth month on what happened, man, on that day. And, of course, man, the outcomes of it on what it meant to a lot of people and also globally, not only nationally, but globally, right? So if you have some of the questions or the answers that, you want to throw at us in terms of 1976, maybe you were at the forefront, maybe you were behind Hector Peterson. Expert panel.
I could never. I'm a 2000 chief. When the museum was opened in 2002, I was 2 years chief. So
I mean, we will never know.
There's no way I can be a member of an expert panel when it comes
we will
to
never know, man.
the 1976 uprisings. There's no way, chief.
your picture from 1999 begs to differ.
Yeah.
No, chief. No. Kim, that picture was misdated, man. I get a 2000 you remember? So it's misdated, chief. Oh, man.
Okay, we'll take that one. But yeah, man, tell us, maybe you were, behind Hector Peterson when he was shot during 1976. Just let us know, man, some of the memories that you had. Because we got some of the things that not everything about 1996 was good about the students. There were students who wanted to commit bad things right there. But it's something that we're going to be getting into when I'm giving you the best history lesson you've never got in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, man, we know that we always give you our daily bread right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, which is today in history, word of the day, and celebrating celebrities' birthday, and also the inventions, going through some of those things that you never knew, right? So I am going to go through some of the things that you never knew in terms of, today in history, right? We have a lot of things that we want to share with you right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. But yeah, today when we're looking into the things that happened, so we're going to be, diverting a little bit and getting into some of the things, that you never knew, right? So 1988, the first one is 1998, Givens family reports Mike Tyson beats his wife, Robin Givens. In 1998, actress Robin Givens accused her then husband, heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson, of physical abuse during their brief and tumultuous marriage. Givens publicly described their relationship as volatile and frightening, and Tyson's later made a disturbing admission in interviews and biographies, including acknowledging violent behavior towards her. The marriage ended in divorce just 8 months after it began. Right? That marriage was so fugacious, man. But on the next one, Michael R. Jackson, a musical, A Strange Loop opens off Broadway in New York. Pulitzer Prize for drama in 2020. A Strange Loop is a groundbreaking musical by Michael R. Jackson that premiered off Broadway in 2019. It follows a young black queer writer named Asha who is writing a musical about a young black queer writer creating a deeply personal and meta theatrical loop. The show won the 2020 Pulitzer Prize for Drama, making Jackson the first black writer to receive the award for a musical. And then on the last one, man, in 1916, a first National Congress of Sarakat Islam at Bandung, Java. The first National Congress of Sarakat Islam was held in Bandung, Java from 17 to 24th of June in 1916, marking a pivotal moment in Indonesia's nationalist movement. It brought together 80 delegations from across the Dutch East Indies and emphasized unity, education, and economic empowerment for indigenous people. The event blended political activism with a cultural celebration, drawing thousands and showcasing solidarity with an Ottoman Empire during World War I. That is all for today in history. Some of the things that took place right there. So if you happen to know any of those things that I've just read right now, please do make sure that you comment down below by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yes, sir.
And then looking into the invention made by South Africans, right? So today we will have Amazon's cloud. Amazon's EC2 cloud service was largely developed in Cape Town by South Africans, powering global platforms like NASA and Netflix.
Oh, wow, very interesting.
The Amazon cloud, right?
Wow.
Right there in Cape Town, that is where all the magic happened, you know, powering global platforms like NASA and Netflix. Hence, we see Netflix in South Africa today, and we are streaming without any of the problems, right? And then moving into the National Day on, you know, what is today's National Day? What are we celebrating today, right?
How many days are we in this morning?
This morning. Okay, so today we are, it is the 168th day, right?
Okay.
168th day of the year and 169th in leap years. And number of days that are remaining is 197. We were in 236 last week. We're in 197.
236.
Yeah, time is flying. I'm telling you. Like, I still remember reading the 236, days remaining.
Two weeks ago.
But 197, like, time is gone.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, eh?
It's gone.
We are. You say there's 197 left.
Yeah, 197.
We are
man.
10 days away from being exactly
Yeah.
halfway mark. So the halfway mark is at 187, 88 days.
Oh,
So once we are in the 187th or 88th day, we're
Yeah.
exactly halfway
yeah.
into the year and halfway away from the year.
Yeah.
Finishing off. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. And we are left with 27 weeks remaining. So anything that you want to do it now. You know, don't even think about procrastinating once again. Just do it now. Whatever idea you want to have, whatever, business idea you wanted to have, just do it right now. And then when I speak about the National Day, because we're always celebrating days that are taking place right here in our nationally, internationally, we celebrate days. So it doesn't matter wherever you are, whether you're in Netherlands, whether in Europe, we are going to be looking into what are people celebrating out there. So today is National Root Beer Day.
Hey.
June 17 is a National Root Beer Day to give everyone the opportunity to enjoy a refreshingly frosty soda known as root beer. Oh, it's a soda.
Yeah.
Celebrating this beverage.
No, I had beer, chief. I cannot be. It's beer, chief.
Exactly. I was like, why are we even celebrating drinking beer, man?
No.
Celebrating this beverage holiday is as easy as gathering some friends and sharing a frosty mug of root beer. What are you waiting for? Right? Instead of having the lager, have a root beer. Man.
No, man,
It's a
you
soda.
must have. Man.
No.
Must
No
have the
beer.
star experience.
No beer, man. It's
Eh,
cold
hano
for
kena,
beers,
man.
man.
No, hano kena. Tshwantse re-
Exactly. It's not a hano again.
No, really, woman.
It can't.
Mo haineko.
It can't. It can't, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some of the interesting things that are going on, man. National Root Beer Day. If you happen to know about that day, man, just let us know, man. If you were someone who went out there, man, with your friends, maybe there's a designated place that people go there and celebrate the National Root Beer Day.
Have you had root beer before, Mo?
No.
You haven't?
It's the first time even hearing of it.
You've never heard of root beer?
Nah.
I'm trying to find if I can find it. The brands that we have in South Africa, you've probably heard of it, man.
Root beer.
Root beer is available in South Africa. It's often found in specialty food stores, some grocery stores, and online retailers. Brands like A&W, Barks, and Virgil's are available.
Yeah.
Root beer is typically sold as a non-alcoholic beverage, though alcoholic versions can be found. Yeah, man. So I'm trying to see, because but it A&W. You haven't seen A&W? Can a brown?
The brown can. I think I've seen it, man. On one of the movies.
Yeah.
When they were just I have seen.
You've seen it,
yes,
but you've never
yeah,
tuning.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the closest thing I think, that we have that we are mostly knowledgeable about is Iron Brew.
Yeah.
When Iron Brew, it's not root beer,
Yeah.
but it's the closest that
Yeah.
we have. As in lighting,
Yeah.
as the soda lighting,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. So think of it like that, but it's not exactly like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the taste of Iron Brew, man. It has that,
It's not nice. You don't like the
weird-
taste of Iron Brew?
Nah.
Seriously?
Nah.
I enjoy
Especially
it,
for Ntwina. I love the one that we buy at the Bundus, not the Bundus, man. At our local spaza shops, the Iron Brew that they made for themselves.
But I asked Paleka,
Right,
the original, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, of course, man, we're looking at the celebrating days. Yes, national days, but what we do not forget right here to celebrate is celebrity birthdays. Oh, man, if you have happened to know anyone who is growing up today and you would like to send a special shout out to them and celebrate their birthday in style, do that because that's what we are about to do right now. So, on our celebrity birthdays, man, we have people who are very interesting, man. People who are, always on our screens. Each and every time when you scroll social media, you see these people. So I know some of them are your idols. But the first one that we have right here is Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. He was born today in 2010 and is turning 15 years old. Interesting fact about him, he recently debuted for the Portugal under-15 national team at the Vlakto Markovic International Tournament in Croatia. Famous as the son of the soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo, he is known by the nickname Cristianino. His father has been secretive as to the identity of Cristianino's mother. Wow. In September 2018, he made his debut with Juventus under-9, scoring 4 goals. Continue to shine, my boy, but it doesn't mean people should put pressure onto you to becoming like your father.
Yeah,
you won't be like your father, my boy.
No.
Do your thing, boy, and just block the outside noise. Happy birthday, and we just wish to see you on our big screens and playing for top elite football. And then the second birthday that we're celebrating today is the one and only Kendrick Lamar, born today, 17 June 1990. He is turning 35 years old. Interesting fact, he was the first player to win the England player. Wait. I'm already rushing, man. I'm already rushing. But yeah, interesting fact, he was the first solo rapper to headline the Super Bowl halftime show. Solo rapper, man. I mean, I remember when they spoke about it on like the breath control that you need to have, man, for a performance.
Oh yes, I remember when we had that conversation.
Yeah, it was epic, man.
Yeah,
it was epic.
yeah.
So Compton-based rapper known for his introspective lyrical style, who first gained critical acclaim for his 2011 album Section 880. His third album, 2015, To Pimp a Butterfly, helped him earn a wider audience, leading to 7 Grammy Awards between 2015 and 2016. The great Lamar is growing up to him, and shout out to the
He's
one
from
and
Compton.
only. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. That's why Drake said things about Compton. They came for him.
I see.
They came for him, all right? And then the next one that we have right here is Jordan Henderson, born 17 June 1990 and turning 35 years old, man. Interesting fact about him, he was the first player to win the England Player of the Year award at both under 21 and senior level. Midfielder who joined Liverpool in 2011 was named England Under-21 Player of the Year in 2012. He became a member of the English national team in 2010. Continued to grow, Jordan. I think right now he's playing in Saudi Arabia, and he had a very good run of his career, man. So happy birthday. Continue to grow, my good friend. And then on the last one, we have Cody Ryan. Born today, 17 June in 1996, and turning 26 years old. Interesting fact, he was active on Instagram as early as January of 2014 before TikTok came to fruition. TikTok sensation who achieved the coveted crown verification on the app with the help of his more than 500,000 fans. He released his first rap single, Real One, in April 2017. People born in 1996, they're turning 26 years.
No, 29.
But like I'm like, no way.
I go
man.
Chief.
I it doesn't make sense.
How
The maths is not maths.
How can I?
The maths is
So
not
I'm like,
maths.
no man, something is wrong. Right, so yeah, man, that's all for the birthdays. If you happen to know anyone, man, who's growing up and you want us to, help you to celebrate their birthday right here, do so, by commenting down below and using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, right? And then
No,
let
there's
us see.
still birthdays, Mo.
There's still
a
birthdays.
few birthdays.
Really?
I mean, on our YouTube comment section, stranger just came through and jumped on saying hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, Vooka Nation. I would like to wish my mom, NG, a happy 70th birthday. May the good Lord bless her with many more. Very, very cool stuff. And then about a minute ago, TK jumped on saying hashtag Sivugile Mavuga Nation. Hashtag I'm back.
Yeah, good to have you back, man.
Yeah, man. And then he comes back again and says hashtag birthday wishes. It's our friend's birthday today. Happy birthday to Daddy, aka Socks. And the other name, Lucy knows.
I wonder.
I don't know. Chief, I don't know. But yeah, man, Socks is celebrating his birthday. So getting, he is someone who watches from time to time, but he never comments and he never engages. And I always encourage
Come
him.
on, Socks, speak to us,
Come
man.
on, man. Come
Feel
on,
free,
you
man.
need to engage.
Yeah, man.
He's someone who should have won tickets today.
Yeah.
Well, understand the part. He's celebrating his birthday today on the 17th of June, and man, I hope he has a great one. Socks Prayaga, happy birthday,
man.
Yeah,
and you're the better person to know, man, what to pick up right now. Pick up your socks, man.
Yeah,
Socks.
man.
Come on, man. Pick up your socks. Talk to us, man. Talk to us. Engage with us. If you want to send us a voice note, or if you want to call us in right now, man,
definitely,
you know what?
man. Definitely.
Yeah, we are in. So to Socks and also Mom, I think
Mom
Iggy.
NG.
Is it Iggy?
Oh,
Yes.
Eggy.
Yes.
Yeah, Mom Eggy.
Mom Iggy and to Socks, man. Of course, man. Happy birthday to you guys.
Hooray!
Yep.
Hooray! Hooray!
Man, may the good Lord continue to bless you guys and give you abundance and everything that you need, man. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And then Hector coming saying, you said the name.
Oh, so getting.
Sioketsing. Oh,
Sioketsing.
Sioketsing. That's its one name.
Yeah,
of course, man. Kimo ekitsi, ra ekitsi, you understand? Yeah, man. And then Simami Kalane coming through saying, sorry, Vooka Nation, that's my mom and stranger's grandmother.
Oh,
Happy.
okay.
Oh,
Okay. I see
shout
you,
out,
I see
man.
you,
Shout
I
out,
see you,
shout out,
Simami.
shout out, shout out. Yeah, shout out to her, man. And we just hope, she has a very beautiful day
Yes,
ahead
definitely.
of her. Man, so many people are growing up.
I
in
told you,
June, man.
there's something. I don't know.
Hey, man, so many.
There's a lot of
we were
people.
celebrating my friend's birthday
Yesterday,
and day before it was Manda's
Yeah, it was
birthday.
Manda's birthday. Yeah,
Man, there's so
yeah.
many people are growing,
Yeah.
man. And it means that this month is all about growth. Right? I think it symbolizes growth as a whole.
Oh,
itself.
it's about June ke.
Yeah.
June, September, go chesa. Batswadi mara ba stone to wait. Ha re tsa ko marigeng go chesa. Cuz I get it 6 months into the year.
Bamengela.
It's 6 months into the year, right? -3. So January -3 months. Ke September. Sorry no go le monate. Gore go a chesa man. Selemo ke spring chief.
Hey, re ntse re ikokobeditse ka mariga.
Eh, ntse re sa kgone go-
Eh, re
wa understand?
phuthulogile, yeah. Ba mengela. Right.
man.
Yeah, man. But shout out to everyone who is growing up. And as a Vooka team and the Vooka Nation, man, we would like to extend our wishes to you so that you can have a beautiful day, man. And speaking of beautiful day, man, we know that we always do what we call word of the day.
Yep.
Right? Do you want to hit us right there? on
Yeah,
what you
man.
have?
On a day-to-day basis, you know that we bring you words that are aimed at improving your day-to-day spoken language, and of course, ultimately, our vocabularies as individuals, and as we go on about our individual lives. And today is no exception whatsoever. On the 17th of June, 2025, and the word for today is unyielding.
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 Yeah.
And how you spell this word is as follows: UNIELDING.
Yeah.
That's UNYIELDING.
Yeah.
Unyielding. And the definition for this word is as follows. The word is an adjective, Mr. Mo. And the definition of the word unyielding is of a mass or structure, not giving way to pressure, hard or solid. So the meaning of the definition of the word unyielding is as follows: not giving way to pressure, hard or solid. It is of mass or structure. That's the definition of the word unyielding. And how you can use this word in a sentence is as follows: the student's unyielding spirit became a symbol of resistance.
Resistance, man.
The student's unyielding spirit became a symbol of resistance. And similar words to the word unyielding are stiff, inflexible, unbending, inelastic,
Yeah.
firm, and compacted.
Stay on your ground.
Yeah, man. So that's the word for today on the 17th of June, 2025. Talk to me. I see you contemplating there. I see you thinking.
I'm deep in my
I
thoughts.
see you thinking, man.
Ngidlamathambo wengqondo.
How can you use this word in a sentence? Unyielding.
Unyielding.
Not giving way to pressure. Being hard or solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to understanding a person who is an ultra crepidarian, I
Okay.
unyield.
You're unyielding.
I'm unyielding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultra crepidarian. So an ultra crepidarian is someone who gives advice way beyond their knowledge.
Okay, so what's your sentence?
When it comes to someone who is an ultra crepidarian, I always try to be in the moment of unyielding. I resist.
Yeah,
Am
you can't
I
be in-
resisting?
You can't be in the moment of unyielding, but you can be unyielding.
Unyielding.
Right,
Yeah,
but-
because I resist. I'm in the moment of resisting anything that they try to come with or the ideas that they're trying to give to me. Right? Hey! Gotta get to a talk.
So wait, we learn, Chief. We're here to learn.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is, the person who gives advice all willy-nilly.
Way beyond their knowledge.
Yeah, when I was saying you don't want to receive it.
I don't want to receive it.
Okay, I
Yeah.
get that, but I don't think the word fits there.
The word unyielding.
Yeah.
man.
So
Okay.
it is not giving way to pressure. It is being hard and solid, right? You're stiff, you are unbending,
Yeah.
you are firm, you are compacted, you are inflexible,
You stand firm
you're
with what
inelastic.
Okay, staying firm with what you believe in, right? And
So you don't give you don't give way to pressure.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
You are hard. You're solid. You're
Yeah.
you're unyielding. So, think of how I usually say that. I don't care how many people come for me.
yeah.
If I believe in something and I stand for it, I'm unyielding. I
You are
stand there. I'm firm.
unyielding. Yeah.
Well, understand? Yeah. So that's around that line of using the word unyielding.
What's the moment where I unyield, man?
Where you're
I'm unyielding.
yes.
I'm unyielding. Wow. This is
Everybody, why Moket is thinking? Talk to us. How would you use this word in a sentence?
resisting.
Her unyielding spirit to make sure that nothing brings her down shows the resilience that she has.
Okay, there we go. There we go, Mr. Mo. Yeah, everybody hit it on the nail, man. Yeah. Yeah, but as you think about it for a second, Wanagoka, talk to us. How would you use how would you use the word unyielding in a sentence? The word is unyielding, and what it means is that you are not giving way to pressure. You are hard, you are solid. It means that you're stiff, you're inflexible, you are unbending, inelastic, firm, and of course compacted. Hit us up on our comment section on YouTube and of course across all our social media platforms using the hashtag of Vooka Breakfast Show and the hashtag word of the day. Can't wait to hear from you. But of course, you can also send us a WhatsApp or a voice note rather on WhatsApp using the number 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. Can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah.
The word for today is unyielding.
Unyielding.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and going right there to our YouTube chat, I have Temimli coming through saying, "Happy birthday, Sis Egi." Those comments and the wishes are being extended to Mama Egi. So today is Mama Egi's and Sis Egi's birthday, man. We are here to celebrate your day. And please, man, if you have some interesting fact about Sis Egi, please make sure that you share it.
Yeah.
Because Sis Egi is watching right now. What is one interesting fact that you have? Let me help you, right? So let me say, for example, Sis Egi, we are celebrating your birthday and we want to know maybe how old you are turning. It's fine. That information, you can keep it to yourself, right?
She's turning 70.
She's turning 70.
Yeah.
Oh, but mentioning that.
Likewise, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
70
she's
years.
70,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you are someone who was there in 1976, man. Maybe you can tell us about the,
She's 1955. She was
1955.
born in
Imagine.
1955.
Yeah, so imagine, Sis Egg, you can, share, an interesting fact about you, that maybe when you grew up, or, some of the things that you've done, maybe the skills that or maybe you've met Nelson Mandela, you've touched, his hand, because I know a lot of old people, hey, some of those moments, man, please share them with us right there. But we're still celebrating you. Happy birthday. And then TK coming through saying, good morning to Amavuga Amad, hashtag Sivugile, and hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show.
1990. They shouldn't confuse Hector Takalani for TK 1990.
Isn't it? Who's TK?
I don't know who TK is.
But it's two different people.
Hector Takalani
TK is his own person,
TK.
and then we have
For
Hector
so
Takalani.
long I've been thinking when I did account to Twitter,
No.
YouTube,
Nope.
and using them.
No,
Nope.
TK 1990 is someone different to Hector Takalani.
Guys, who's
So
TK?
I call Hector Takalani TK because TK is from Takalani.
Yeah.
Right, and then TK 1990 is someone who's
Hence-
always hanging out with us, but I'm not sure if I know who TK 1990 is, because Stumza 66 is Stumza,
Itumele.
right? Stumza 66 is Stumza, and then TK 1990 but
TK 1990 is still proof of life.
but
Yeah, man,
always
because
hang
every
out.
time when you say TK, like Hector TK, I'm like, maybe he's using two
No,
accounts.
two different
Oh
people.
man, but
Two
it's
different
been such a long time, man. TK has been here, and but yeah, man, it's fine as long as you are with us, man, joining us for this wonderful and epic episode right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, man.
Yeah.
We just love it to be with you here. And then the Hector comes, the real TK, not the real TK, but TK.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm TK86. But what is going on here?
I think
And
86
then,
is
His
the
daddy was
birth
born
year.
in 1986.
I got it in 1990.
He was born in 1986, so hence TK86.
Bro, like it's the war of the TKs today. But yeah, man, he comes through saying hashtag the word of the day. My knees, some moment, are unyielding at times. They're resisting.
No, resistance has nothing to do with.
Why am I always saying resisting, man?
I get to it's a guy who resist.
Like like resisting is here.
It's in your mind, yeah.
Yeah.
I see the even in the sentence that you were
Yeah.
trying to form there, but yeah, resistance has nothing
But
to
yeah.
do with it. Yeah.
And then Hector say, I'm the real TK. Okay, you are the real TK, man. TK 1990, you can also come and respond, man.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, man. Talk to us, man. Talk to us. And talking with us, as we know that it is Tuesday, you know, it's either you choose your partner, it's either you choose your sibling, or you choose anyone. But now, in the world that is full of, different relationship dynamics that we always speak about, man. And we once had, and we always have authors. And even, Colin M, man, he was here speaking about relationships, how things are changing in the, aspect and in the spectrum of relationships, and he even wrote a book about that. So, for today, we've got something interesting that we want to discuss. Do love languages evolve over time, right? We're going to be getting into, a topical discussion, man, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, and also includes you, because I know, man, a lot of us as Africans, when they say love language, we think Setswana, Sesotho, but no, love has its own language, right? And how do you want to receive? What do you like the most? Do you like, quality time? Do you like service, man, acts of service? Do you like being gifted, right? And we're going to be going through different kinds of love language. I think there's 5 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. Acts of service and gifts and what is it? Quality time. And what is this one? Touch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this touch. And then the 5th one? Do you know the love languages? What's your love language?
No, I've heard of them, but I've never.
You've never tried.
Looked into.
Yeah, man. I remember
like
reading
that.
this book, by Robin. I think, if I'm not Robin Wheeler, man. And yes, it's words of affirmation. Acts of services, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Those are the 5 love languages, right? So, for today, we're going to be discussing that do love languages evolve over time? When it comes to spending time with, or on the 5 ones that we have right here, right? Is there a 6th one? Is there a 7th one? Is there an 8th one that has been added in today's day and, into this time and era, right? So, imagine this, right? We're just trying to build a scene for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine this. You've been in a relationship for years. In the beginning, your partner couldn't get enough of physical touch, hugs, kisses, cuddles, but lately they seem more moved by acts of service. Like when you cook dinner or take the car for a service, right? You start to wonder, have their love languages changed? Or have you just stopped speaking the same one? Ooh. This brings us to today's big question, right? Do love languages evolve over time? So, when we speak about cultural relevance, of course, we need to bring it right here in SA so that we can understand, as in South Africa, where diverse cultures and languages shape how we see and express affection, understanding how love languages shift can be crucial, especially in a long-term relationship, marriages, or even friendships. Whether it's a Zulu man raised to show love through provision or a colored woman who values quality time. I thought you were going to say violence, but we're not there. Whether a colored woman who values quality time over gifts, our emotional dialects are deeply personal and possibly changeable, right? So let us look at the psychology behind this. While there's limited research on love language evolving, psychology suggests that our emotional needs and communication styles do shift over time. They change, they grow, they evolve. Life stages, trauma, personal growth, and even parenting can influencing how we give and receive love. You're asking yourself, do you have any examples? Yes. For example, a young adult might crave words of affirmation to build confidence, right? A new parent might value acts of service more, like help with chores or childcare. Someone healing from past neglect might lean into physical touch or quality time. In essence, love languages aren't fixed traits. They are adaptive tools, right? So, I'm here to ask you guys, do you have any love language? What's your love language? You don't have?
I wouldn't say I don't have. I think it's an innate thing that we all have as individuals from the 5, but there could possibly be more.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, if there's a sixth and there's a seventh, I think we all have our own ways that we want to be appreciated and recognized and loved, essentially.
Yeah.
So, not personally, I don't think I've looked into it like that for myself. But I do know that there are certain things that I like when I'm in an intimate relationship with a young lady, or even in friendships. You know, there's certain things take appreciate. But as to looking into it specifically, whether it's physical touch or words of affirmation or acts of service or whatever the case, I don't think I've looked into it like that. But I do agree with the fact that they are not fixed.
Yeah.
They are adaptive, and they grow and they change as you grow and you change and evolve. And as the world grows and it changes and it evolves, right? Life stages, like it's mentioned, like you mentioned, where we are in our lives, or rather in our lives, sort of kind of determines how we want to be loved, and how we love others as well. I think most of us, if not all of us in society, to some extent, we all have a certain level of trauma that we've gone through, whether it be a passing on of a parent, or maybe the household wasn't a great one when you grew up, or you were bullied at school, or a trauma, or you were mugged, not so up, or time and time again. You know, we have, or you've been in an accident, or you've witnessed an accident like we did back in March, you remember? Those are all traumatic experiences, and so having gone through some of those as individuals, they also contribute to how we experience and we execute love, essentially. And so I think communication is a huge thing for me whenever I think about relationships and friendships, and just the relationships that we have as individuals. The engagements that you have with more life in general. I think that's where we lose it in more than most cases, because we never talk. Even and I actually appreciate how it's so, or especially as gents, as the guys, it's seen as if how girl, or you're acting girl, exactly. And your manhood and your sexuality is called to question. We understand that, but we should actually have conversations like that. What do you like? Like it goes back to stingy. You remember that stinginess versus selfishness. Yeah, it's things of that sort, so that we understand, so that language we might not be on the same level, but at least we try to find each other and find common ground on some level, or to a certain extent. So that I know I get us so I appreciate, I get us so all right. Or it doesn't resonate with you. This person doesn't acknowledge me. Why? What's happening? Kanti, it doesn't resonate. The language that I'm speaking doesn't resonate with you. Not that you don't understand, not that you don't see, but it doesn't resonate. It doesn't reach the point that you would like it to reach for you as an individual. You know, so man, it's things of that nature for me. But I think I'd have to look deep into myself. What do I actually like? How do I communicate love? How do I experience it? How do I execute it? You know, I know that there are a lot of people in life who aren't necessarily but horoscope and astrology and stuff like that. But I think to a certain extent, I'm not deep into it, but I think our star signs and our astrologies and when we were born in the year also plays a bit of a role. It plays a bit of a role. It's a contributor. You know, especially because I've looked into my own star sign as a Virgo and who Virgo was in the astrology. You know, there's 12 star signs. It says that 6 are represented by females, 6 are represented by males. So you find that like Virgo is represented by a female. Virgo was a female. So you find gents who are born under the star signs that are represented by females slightly have are more in tune with their feminine side than one understanding, and vice versa. girls who are born under star signs that are represented by males.
Yeah.
Banally, not like I said,
Yeah.
but they are more inclined or in tune with their bravado-ness and their
Yeah.
maleness. Like
Yeah.
I know quite a few Leos, banyana baba tselileng ka August. You understand? You like it shows itself more and more, but if you are someone who believes it and who has read up on it, and star signs for me have nothing to do with anything. But when you look at traits and like for example, what famous
Characters.
characters, and you read up
yeah.
on the star sign, it's like man, it sort of kind of makes sense. You know,
Why
I
she's
remember
like this, yeah.
I think it was 2 weeks ago or something, and Fifili Steven
Yeah.
after the show, and they were reading up on their star sign, and it was like, hey, chief, this is talking about me.
Yeah.
You know, so those things also contribute to how you experience and you execute love.
Yeah.
So yes, I absolutely do believe that love languages are there,
Yeah.
and they are adaptive and they are not solid.
Yeah.
They are not unyielding. See what I did there?
Mm.
Man. Yeah. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents, man.
And then what's your love language?
So my love language, I don't have a specific love language.
Yeah.
I have love languages, if it's considered a thing. So I'm more of a touch person. I like being touched, and I also like somebody who also loves receiving the feeling of touch.
Yeah.
So for me, that's how I express it. You don't need to like literally hold my hand, but every once in a while, a touch on the cheek, a touch on the shoulder,
Yeah.
holding my hands every now and then. Yeah, for me, that's my love language.
Yeah.
And then another one, yes, I love touch, by the way, because I'm a huge fan of hugs. Another one will probably be like act of service. Because for me, I believe that the smallest act can make the biggest impact.
Yeah.
You just making me coffee.
Yeah. Cough.
Coffee.
Oh.
You make
Hey, ke a ipotsa yaanong, how se le batla go kgotlholisiwa yaanong. I'm like, what's going on here?
no, like you making me coffee is like
Yeah.
for me, it makes me feel special.
Yeah.
Although maybe you've made it for some other people, but
Yeah.
because we are dating at that moment,
Yeah.
for me it made me feel special. You're like, oh babe, you want coffee? I'm like, yeah, I want coffee. And like, okay, how many spoons? I'm like, oh yeah, my man making me coffee. So for me, those are the kind of things. It's the small little acts of service
Yeah. Yeah.
that make the biggest impact for me. And I'd also say that the other act is basically receiving gifts. Bri, sweetie. I'm thankful for that. I
Yeah.
think maybe it's also because of my upbringing.
Yeah.
I've been brought up to be thankful for even the smallest thing, because it takes a whole lot of effort for somebody to even consider that she needed a lollipop.
Yeah.
Without even asking you, but literally approach you and say, oh, by the way, hey, here's your lolly.
Yeah.
It means a lot for me, because you're like, okay, that's you. So you considered me, so you had me in mind.
Yeah.
So for me, those are that. And I also do believe that some people do end up actually finding their love languages gradually. It's either you find it early or later on in life, because as people will evolve, and when it comes to dating, you cannot fall in love with the person that is currently in front of you. You must be able to fall in love with the evolution of people, because we're human beings and we're meant to evolve.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And also, we're going to be introducing some tension, when it comes to those love languages, man. Because I know that some people, they don't even, try to look into, what love language do, what do they mean. It's like, I am the way I am. But all our traits, they're defined by something, our characters. There's something, when it comes to psychology, how we behave as human beings, there are definitions of how we behave. But I can't just ignore what is going on right there on YouTube, right? Because I see right there, TK 1990.
Hey, what TK? Chat it no.
Yeah. But at least we've got some clarity right there.
Yeah.
Coming back, say, lol, I'm not Hector, guys. My name is Tsakani, and I'm a woman, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
Hello,
Because
Tsaki,
Nakibona,
Tsaki.
every time when I saw Messi on your pic, or like on your profile, I'm like, that definitely this is a guy, man. You
And
know,
I mean, the nickname of TK is
yes, it's a guy.
largely associated with
Yeah,
males.
so
yeah.
it makes sense how Retsakani. All right, Sis Tsakani. All right, Sis Tsakani. And then she says, I joined the show through my partner, but I'm more active than him.
Hey,
Shout out to
who's-
you, man.
Who's the partner?
partner?
Yeah, who's the partner? Maybe it's someone we know.
We know, ne?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If
man,
you
tell
don't
us.
mind, please tell us who's the partner so we can also celebrate the love story that
Yeah,
you guys
man.
have. And please also let us know what is your love language between you and your partner. And how do you guys make sure that the love languages that you guys have, if they're different, how do you make sure that they also become compatible within the relationship? Please let us know so we can also give our listeners and also everybody here in station a lesson or two on maybe how to basically compel the two different love languages that two people may have in a relationship.
Yeah. And then Hector comes back and say, I choose my family. We came together to bury our cousin this weekend and celebrate her life.
Yeah.
Very wonderful. And we're still celebrating choosing. You know, what are you choosing on this wonderful Tuesday morning right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, man? Just let us know, man, because, you know, man, when it comes to choosing, you choose things that work out for you. Positive things is what we promote right here on this breakfast show. And then Zakani saying, to avoid confusion, I wrote my full name now and change my profile picture because maybe you guys thought I'm a guy. Yes, honestly, I thought you were a guy because TK and a picture of Lionel Messi, we know, man. We know we have Messi freaks out there, man. You know, a man that has Messi's pics all over the bedroom, you know. So we thought, you know, you are a guy. But thank you so much, man. And Tsakani, and I see we have something that we need to celebrate right now.
Yes.
And then she says, and lol, I'm the real TK. And is
No,
the real TK is
a
a
real number.
Vooka Nation. Man. But wait,
TK
man.
Bragg. TK. I mean, we didn't see when she became a member. So
No, I think she
probably
actually is. I think no, she is.
But when it happened, we didn't see it because every member almost now. Bobo about to buy member because we saw it on the chat right during an episode during the stream. So we earlier, sometime maybe a couple of months ago, or she did it recently. Really offline, right? So, but yeah, Ostakani, we see you, we recognize you,
Shout out to
and we
you.
appreciate the fact that you are a member, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are a member who's subscribed and who is paying and stuff like that. So, TK190 oh, give member. She has a star next to her name. So do something, Chief. Guys, the cheapest one is like 9-10 rands a month to become a member, man. So TK Praga, please let's pull up our
Do
socks,
the right
man.
thing, man. Pull up our socks,
Yeah,
man. Right. We see, man, people banally star, you know,
Yeah.
maybe Obatlali, but it's something that we can talk about later. But yeah, man. And then you see right there, man, it's a kind of, but shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And for such a long time, man, you know, we've just been thinking, TK, man, TK, but it's
No, I knew the difference. I just didn't know that TK
man.
1990 is a girl.
Yeah, man, but shout out to
Yeah.
you, man. And then Hector saying, your sister Tsakani, I also thought you were male because of the profile you put. Yeah, that's, you know, that's the same thing
Yeah.
that I thought right there, Hector.
Yeah.
That, you know, by seeing Messi, I know, I mean, it's rare to see a girl, man, you know, posting, you know,
Football
stars, you know,
pictures, yeah.
but thing, you know, but it's just that
yeah.
minority, you know.
Yeah.
And then Zinzi coming to say all love languages apply to everyone with rankings. However, we all have a primary love language. My primary love language is quality time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, it's an innate thing.
Yeah.
We all have it. We all have it, whether in friendships, whether in intimate relationships with people.
Yeah.
But we all have things that we appreciate and we love. We have ways that we want to experience and execute love, essentially. Yeah. So, but like I said, it's all about communication. Man.
Yeah, and there's let us introduce attention, you know, in this whole perspective of what we're speaking about, which is the, you know, love languages evolving. So what happens when your love language evolves, but your partner doesn't, or worse, they don't notice the shift? That's where emotional disconnect creeps in. You might feel unseen, unappreciated, or even unloved. Not because love is gone, but because it's being spoken in a language you no longer understand. You know, I mean, nowadays with being in the age of information, you know, and as I always, you know, I'm a firm believer that with information comes transformation, right?
Okay.
So nowadays we consume a lot of information, and we want to, you know, consume that information and apply it in our own lives and also in our relationships. So I think one of the things that needs you to credit or qualify you to be in a relationship is understanding elements and components of what really drives a relationship. So what I'm trying to say is you have to have knowledge, like at least basic knowledge of you know, knowing how a relationship works. Because they just go that I just need love. You know, people date for different reasons, right? But nowadays, when we see things like this, when somebody comes with their own love language and say, you know what, this is what I am expecting, or this is what, you know, I want for myself. I'm someone who loves physical touch, and then you're like, man, you know. And now, how do you communicate and how do you make your partner understand? Or when now you don't like touching.
You just said it. How do you communicate?
Yes,
And
you know.
How?
How do you
I always say,
communicate?
my guy.
You know,
I always say.
how do you
I
communicate?
always say, like a huge part, guys, where we lose each other.
Yeah.
Where we lose each other, even as nations, as countries, where we lose each other. Reveal a couple of months ago, like a month or two ago, or early in the year, when Trump signed that that form early, and stop at the AIDS fund. Remember?
Oh yeah.
The bill that
The
he
bill,
signed.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's the communication. It's the communication. He was given false communication, false information, and clearly in the way that it was communicated,
Yeah.
Obana propagated him to escalate the signing of that bill.
Yeah.
Well, understand? It's like 2-3 months later now, and we're still talking about the same thing. So communication is a huge, huge thing, and it's in that communication. It's not what you say necessarily, because what you say also does play a role.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it. The conversation changes a bit.
Yeah.
But more than what you say, it's how. How you say. People don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel based on how
You said it.
You said it. And of course, I mean, obviously, right? So communication is a huge thing. It is a huge, for me, I think in relationships in general, it's probably, if not the first, the second thing on my list. Bua, talk to me. Tell me.
So
that
is communication a skill?
is it a skill?
Yeah. Is communication a skill?
I think it can be.
Okay.
We all can learn how to communicate better.
Yeah.
All of us. We all can learn. That's why honale a career path, communications.
Yeah.
Well, it's evident.
Yeah.
You heard how he speaks. Lindiwe Mchonondwana, the NPA, the regional spokesperson of the NPA. You heard how she articulates herself, how she responds to the questions that I was posing to her.
Yeah.
Yes, of the iPad.
Of the iPad. Yeah.
The communications officer of iPad. You heard how she speaks more.
Yeah.
Admiral in Tuning, Shabalala. You heard how he speaks. They were trained. So we can all absolutely learn how to communicate better in the different relationships that we form, whether at work, whether in your community, whether in family.
Yeah.
We understand. Sometimes go to family because no because we don't know how to speak to each other.
Yeah.
Right? We lack to have or to get to a point where we can find common ground. We might not necessarily agree. Understanding someone doesn't mean I get what you're saying. I understand you. I comprehend. I fully digest and I've processed what you're saying. I just don't agree with it. Do I understand? But let's find common ground. How can we move forward so that you as someone who likes being touched and I as someone who doesn't like touching, what's the compromise? I was about to say actually, compromise is also a huge one. So in communicating with each other, telling each other what we like, what we don't like, what we appreciate, what what we expect. Because there's expectation, in innate expectation when it comes to relationships, in friendships. I expect when my mood is low, I have an innate expectation. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But if I don't voice out those expectations, or when you don't come to me and you ask me, and like sometimes so what's up? Like what's going on? So that we sit down and we communicate. Communication is a two-way street. You can't always be talking and to receive, or you can't always be receiving and not share your thoughts and your opinions. You understand? So I think it can be a skill. You can learn it, absolutely. And we can all learn how to communicate better. Communicate our feelings, our innermost thoughts, our emotions, and our opinions as well. You understand? So that when we get to a point where now we're not speaking the same language, we are able to communicate and say, hey, Chief, I'm finding myself in life, also. And the way I'm no longer resonating with that, you know. But it's not an easy thing. It's not. Communicating is not an easy thing.
Exactly.
Sharing your innermost feelings and emotions is not an easy
That's
thing.
why we have people who, you know, describe themselves as nonchalant. You know, someone who is quiet. I just prefer to become quiet. And a lot of those people, you know, they come across now, they will, you know, explode when things are being said to them each and every day. You know, you spend time, this person is always saying this, and when you believe you're that person that I can take everything, I'm an absorber, you know. Remember, every time, even you know, when things become wet, as much as they, you know, absorb water, sometimes you just need, you know, and then and then for some people, it's how they try to communicate, hey man, you know, I just don't like what you're doing. They can't, you know, they don't know how to put it because they feel like the next person, how I'm putting it, they're not understanding because now you're trying to put it in nicer ways to not be mean. You know, that's why you would hear people, they say they suffer from verbal abuse in their relationships. But now, it's that partner, you're not trying to understand her, they're trying to communicate something. But now, when they communicate that thing, vulgar words come now to say, I don't know better ways to put this. The only way I can, you know, put this is me using these vulgar words to make you understand that what you're doing, I don't like it and I don't accept it fully, you know. So we can all agree that a lot of relationships, you know, they end because of communication. You know, and it's how you communicate to the next person, you know, and it's you knowing how to communicate and what credits you to say, I know how to communicate to different people. Maybe like you meet a lot of different people out there and they have their own communication styles that they use to communicate, right? And when it comes to that, now how do we then reassess everything that one has gathered? Because when I say, okay, I believe this is my way of communicating and I don't change it. You know, this is where I
see. That's where now.
I draw the line.
That's where you are unyielding.
Yeah.
Right. Now that's where it changes. That's where the conversation changes. See, if you don't want to learn, and when we play it, because there are people like that. I know one person specifically who has said it time and time again.
Yeah.
That's why I tend to step away from you a bit.
Yes.
Because you are blatantly, proudly saying how about
Yeah.
And for me, if you're someone who doesn't want to learn, Chief, it says quite a lot about your character, about your way of processing things, about your thought process as well, about your reasoning capacity as well. You know, I'm someone who can talk for days. I'm a conversationalist.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and maybe some people who are not really used to me like that might think how musika it's like, no, you can't always be talking and be involved in the conversation.
Expectations that they have.
Yeah, no, step back and listen to other people's views, man. Step back and listen and just sit there, keep quiet and listen. Okay, really? Oh, can't they mo nagana so?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you hear different perspectives and views and opinions and how people think and process things and how they digest information. So if you can't be someone who is willing to learn,
Yeah.
right? We play la wena gore nna ke so. I can't change. I'm like this. I was born like this. But chief, we were all born a certain way. But to get to where we are now,
Yeah.
to be the Musi that I am now, I wasn't the same Musi. I mean, holistically, my character is still the same.
Yeah.
Now, if people who went to high school with me were to come here and talk about me, since chief, well, understand, I've always been this person that I am, but you evolve, you grow, right? Emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, your thought process, your reasoning capacity.
Yeah.
Well, understand that. How you articulate yourself, how you communicate, how you receive, and how you give, right? You need to be in a position as an individual, especially as adults. That's why I get together. I stopped using the term mutomutona. No, chief. Think of yourself when you were in high school. I like using this example. Recently, I started using it. Or think of yourself when you were in high school. The truth of the matter is not everyone was gifted intellectually or book-wise.
Yeah.
Not everyone nathola 70 and above, right? But when you think of those people, bane bathola matota score 30 and below, 20 and below. Testing is 75, motho thola 5. But the truth of the matter is there are people like that. And so when that person grows up and becomes an adult in society, do you think all of a sudden, no? Exactly. So there are adults out there, chief, your reasoning capacity is not so nice. So there are adults like that. They won't give you solid and great advice that you can use as a young person, as a youthling, as a younging, right? In this year or in this life that we're living in. So it also goes with the growth and the learning. As an adult, we need to be people who are growing, or just not even as an adult, as individuals in society. And so that when you become an adult, you become a functioning, well-functioning adult in society. So this thing of saying nakison, chief,
I'm like that, man. You know, you give what you get. You get what you give. You know, but nowadays, hence when you speak about evolving, because it's something that came to my mind, and it's something that we are always seeing in our communities. You know, not only the community where we live in, but in dating communities and in adult communities, teenage communities. So when it comes to communication, other people, they use things to communicate, right? So one would know their partner as someone who is always giving them things. You know, my partner always gives me money. And one would say that's how my partner communicates. You know, it's like each and every time when you go through something, my partner pops out money.
Okay.
You know, my partner buys me something. You know, it's also labeled as a way of communication. It's some of the things that we do, and we are so blind with them that when each and every time when something happens, you communicate with things. You know, and whether it's a good things or bad things, actions, they also communicate. They speak
loud.
You know. So when you do something for someone, in a relationship or in a friendship, in your family, when you do certain things, it's your way of communication. We know when he starts breaking windows, there's something he doesn't like, And there are other people like who, partners have accepted that, no, when my partner is angry at me or I've done something, she breaks things. Or he breaks things.
Okay.
When, he gives off those tantrums, I know that I've done something wrong.
Okay.
She or he can't communicate. The only way he can communicate that is by breaking things. So behavioral communication is some of the things that people are not aware of. In this GBV summit, right, here in South Africa, there was a psychologist, who was, going through the diagnosis of the people who were admitted in these psych wards, and they found out mostly, and it's an experiment that they've done to say say something that he doesn't like, several times, it spikes in his mind, or no, man, I need to hit something, or I need to hit someone, right?
Okay.
So they found out that a lot of guys, they communicate through fighting, and when you look at the background of where they're coming from, a lot of them come from abusive households, and that's the only way they thought they could communicate. But like, as a kid, as a young kid, seeing your dad, abusing your mom, you would think they don't speak, and you don't know what led to dad raise his hand to mom. So they looked at that and they saw, like signs and patterns, man, of these people growing up and seeing that, no, man, like when somebody's doing something wrong, you don't need to speak to them. You need to hit them, yes, so that they can understand that whatever that you are doing to them, it's not okay. So that's the problem and the pandemic that we are facing right now of behavioral communication that people do not understand, and we still need to learn as of right now that people communicate with actions.
Yeah, when you say that, it also comes back to raise the whole issue with Chris Brown and Rihanna when they were dating, because he grew up in a very abusive home. So he saw that if my mom did something wrong, my dad would smack my mom.
Yeah.
So he learned at such a young age, it's okay, maybe if you smack Sanyana, straightens a woman, until he ended up, unfortunately, doing that to Rihanna. And it got him into some very, very super deep hot waters. But he eventually learned to change and learned to better himself in terms of communication. Because right now, he has 2 kids with this other lady. And he is no longer that abuser that most people used to know him from. So sometimes I think, when you see yourself raising a hand to somebody, whether, especially in relationship, whether it was just a smack for a person, male or female, because there are some females who are also abusers, let's put it out there, male or female, I think that's when you need to start having a very huge wake-up call to yourself and say, I need to start going in for therapy and finding a much more proper way of communicating, because that is not the way to communicate. Instead of having better communication, when you end up doing that, it breaks it down even more and lives a very traumatic trail along with it.
Yeah. So, I mean, with what we're facing right now, I think the narrative have to change to communication can be to communication must be a skill. Everyone needs to know how to communicate, guys, because we are trying to avoid, cases that are going to be unsolved. Because now in the court, they're trying so hard to find out, man, like, why would you chop someone, dude? I know it's
not funny.
It's not, ne? But why would you chop someone and put their pieces in the fridge? Why would you stab someone, man? Like, what leads you, to taking someone's life, man? Like, to a point that, whenever that they are speaking, you decide to raise your hand to them. It's things like, both, barking, love and first sight, love at first sight, right? You see someone, you love them, and you don't even need to go through that talking stage. It's like, it's fine, man, let's do it. We have chemistry, we are doing this. And then you realize that that part of communication that you guys never had, it's now coming to haunt you.
Learning.
Yes, learning about each other.
It's learning.
I mean, people nowadays, like, why talking stage, guys? Like, why should we waste our time with talking stage, man? We will talk as time goes.
Oh, Chief, look, each to their own. Each to their own. Like I always say, and I love it when TC is part of the conversation, because she knows that I'm a very individualistic thinker, in the sense that I never like generalizing and putting things in a general manner or insinuate that I want to make them standard or standardized, right? But I don't agree in any shape, form, or manner, or to any extent whatsoever, to physically communicate or to relay a message.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't agree with it, right? And I don't see a reason for people to be physical.
Yeah.
And what I've found is that whenever someone is physical with another person, be it in a friendship or in a relationship, but a relationship, because we're talking love languages, right? An intimate relationship that people have. Whether it's the guy raising the hand or the girl, like Afripiri mentioned, the girl raising the hand, there are women beaters out there.
Yeah.
Like you know, you're this tough Bogoto, you're standing up for yourself. Well, it's just not cute. It's not attractive and it's not nice. Either way, I'm not justifying Yamachita. Yamachita is even worse. Because like we get us so mandla hands of steel. But what I've found is that whenever someone raises a hand on their partner, yes, it could possibly be that you don't know how to relay or put your thoughts into words and communicate, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, what I've seen is that I lose a debate. Comeback. How na comeback right? You don't know how to articulate yourself. You don't know how to come back from the discussion. Yes, it might be a heated one. Chief, people get in their feels, especially when they are losing the argument. See, when lovers are arguing, Chief, and the one is losing the argument, Chief, go patrile, Mara. Like, there's no escape for you. Yeah, Mara, you've lost. And it's wrong. We tend to normalize the wrong and tend to want to make moral of immoral things. One understand them all. And like you say, I agree with you. It needs to be a skill that we all try to acquire.
Yeah.
We might not necessarily achieve it at a high level.
Just to feel
But
that, yeah.
Just the
you
glossary
need
of
to
it.
have basics. The basics. For me, it's on a basic. Basic fella, just put your foot in. On a basic. If you are willing as an individual, like I said, the growth and involvement and learning are personal things. If you don't want to, I can't push you, Chief. I can put all the books in front of you, but Robin Wheeler, all these authors, but Letstein, but Tag, Mang, David Weber, that guy on Athlete. I can put all these books in front of you, but if you're not willing, you're not, and there's nothing I can do for you. It needs to be an innate personal thing that you want for yourself. And so I don't agree with communicating physically.
Yes.
Anyway, your reasoning capacity goes up to this level or this extent or this or this range. Your range is limited. You're not someone who can sit down and let's talk. And communication comes with emotional intelligence, because there's people who communicate and then they tend to let their emotions and feelings run away with them. And it leads,
and
then
then like, hey, you bring other things up now in the conversation.
So not personal, and we're not facing the issue at hand. Wong understand. So what was it personal? Yeah, I be the way now. Yeah, you know your bedroom under your chief. Hey. Yeah, when they don't even afford a loaf of bread. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's things like that. So there's quite a few contributing factors and variables when it comes to how we experience our love languages and we communicate and we execute our love languages in the different relationships that we form with individuals in life in general. You know, that thing, an example is, you know, those families where there's that one rich aunt or rich uncle, and whenever there's something that needs to happen in the family, decisions can be made without that person. And it's not in all cases, but sometimes that uncle chief, I'm not. And so, like you say, you communicate through the giving of money.
Yes, that's how you communicate.
There's also wrong forms of communication.
True,
right?
A lot of
and
them.
You make the person get used to it. And now when you can't do it or when you stop doing it, there's that disconnect like you mentioned earlier. And it's like, Chief, you always give me 500 every week. What happened now?
What happened now?
Yeah, now I'm not. I feel like you don't love me
Yes.
now. And so we need to sit down. I was working at the time, or I was able to afford to give you 500 every week. Now I can't because of 1, 2, 3. But no, because when yourself, you're not so nice in terms of relaying that message or communicating what you're going through. There's disconnect, and that's where relationships end. And that's where you find nations now fight. And Baba Shapanagadi bomb strike, lady drone, lady in, because we're not getting each other.
Yeah.
Well, language exactly. Give us Tswana, we us Xhosa, it's Northwest, it's Matatiele, or it's Eastern Cape, and do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's bad, guys, because, when you're looking into compatibility, there's this trend that people, it's a trend and a thread that's going on that people are pushing the narrative of dating in your own level. Dating in a form of not having to explain yourself each and every time, You have a very good vocabulary, each and every time, when you guys are in an argument, you bring up certain words, that helps you to express yourself. Maybe you are with Nomfundo or Mfetu. Each cheating yako, has bad consequences. About any consequences.
So but that's growth now. See, what I've learned also in friendships and relationships, that's why he's saying that so show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely tell you who you are. On Sunday, I was hanging out with this lady. I've known her for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Back in high school. We were never friends. Oh, I know you. I feel sharp. We used to sing with her younger sister. And so on Sunday, we're chilling there. Nice to see you, sharp. So I'm telling her, I'm not afraid to show people who my friends are. Now there's none of my friends, from different spaces, like proper, like someone I consider a friend. None of my friends don't have a nice reasoning capacity. I'm not saying it functions at a high level, but I'm saying it's nice, it's there. A process, a reason.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm telling her that, and she's like, are you sure? Yes, absolutely. I'm not scared. You understand? Because we learn. And so what I've learned in friendships, in relationships, because we come from different backgrounds and we work in different spaces. I'm in media. I'm in entertainment. I'm in art. I have a friend who is in law. I have a friend who is in education. I have a friend who won't understand. I have a friend who is a fashion designer. I have a friend who is a scholar transport driver. I have a friend who is into perfumes. And a photographer, one understand. So we all come with different perspectives from the different walks of life that we come in. And so, like I said, sometimes you just need to sit there, keep quiet and learn and observe and absorb, right? And so this thing of not wanting to learn in the friendships that you develop, lebato. And so if you're in a relationship or consequence, you don't know what it's like. That's why it also goes to the topic of age. Last, you remember when we were talking about the age thing between the boy and the girl, or just Batubaba Ratanang. It's a contributing factor, but you need to walk away. If it so happens that a relationship ends, walk away having learned something.
Yes.
You
did not even take it. Like you're going back to the same cycle.
Exactly, you're still the same person.
But to Baba in the cycle. Because
the vicious same cycle that goes. After 3 months, relationship.
You're not learning.
Exactly, Mo. So if you're that person, yes, dating on your level is not a bad thing, but also be with someone who, like I mentioned, I was telling Tisa, if you take sex away from the table, can you sit with this person for 3 hours and have a proper conversation?
Instead
where
of
you
sexual
both
intercourse, have a mental intercourse.
Exactly, Mo. Psychological one. Learn, man. Talk about topics that both of you are not familiar with. Go onto YouTube. Berekisa AI. Does your person know how to use ChatGPT?
Hey, man.
One understand that. Does your person know how to drive? Does your person know how to swim? Does your person know how to read for an entire room and have people understand them when they are reading? Does your person one understand? So it goes back to ntshela gore mina ngikanje mina ngjola nabantwana bakanje chief
Kana what's that famous kasi thing on kasi rap mina ngicela ungithande the way ngingakhona.
yes ngiyakuthanda absolutely ngikuthanda kanje vele ngizikhethele wena ukanje but umntwami siyakhula ngithi umntwami baby
Let's grow,
asikhula
man.
sikhulisane
Yeah.
so that when we look back like bona bo Barack Obama le Michelle Mfethu they have pictures from over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wa understand it's like bona re tswa ko kae baby you and I have gore motho ga bua ka wena ko yazi Mfethu yo media Mfethu ngifundise ukusave.
Yes.
Remember the topic about personal finance. Tuesdays
yeah.
are personal finances more. You know, when we say that we spend, what's the word I always forget?
Which one? Compulsively.
Yes, you're a compulsive
Yeah.
spender or an impulsive spender. You are able to say 3 years from now, when I met them, neke spenda fela. But that lady taught me how to save and spend wisely. Now says man, the way, but you're able
something away
to
from it,
exactly
yeah.
more. You know, so that's just my thing, and
Yeah.
those are the love languages. Sorry, you like touching, I don't. I like acts of service. You don't service your person. How do we find a compromise? Where do we meet each other in the middle and find middle
Let's
ground?
talk about it,
Oh, and
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
man,
And then right there we see as another comment saying, I think love languages evolve. I used to love spending time, but I love spending time if the bag is right. How can I spend quality time if the roof is leaking and no food? Right? Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people they have ways of growing, you know, and outgrowing things in relationships. And one of the things is the pain of your partner outgrowing you. You know, a lot of guys cannot take that, you know, hence they will go out and fight everyone that your partner meets out there. It's like, oh, when you get to have a conversation with the guy of your friend, you know, your friend of your girlfriend, right? When already the first thing you think on your mind is like, this guy's going to take my girl, you know, and there's immaturity inside of
Emotional,
you
yeah.
because you can take something, you know, from that guy with what he brings, you know, and listen to him. But when not already your intrusive
blowing
thoughts
it,
like, you know
yeah.
what, hit this guy right in the middle of his
Blowing
face.
it out of proportion.
You know, you're blowing it out of proportion, you know. But now, continuing, man, right there, as we have spoke about, you know, introducing the tension in this evolving love languages, right? Right now, we're going to go into different perspectives that are there, which is the traditional view and the modern view, right? Love languages are core to who we are. They don't change. We just forget to speak them. That is the traditional view, right?
Okay.
They are the core to who we are. They do not change. Because when you're about to get married, or maybe you're giving advices from the elders, you know, they still stick to those traditional views about marriage. Yeah, you know, so it's those things onto, okay, do you now have both perspectives in your life to say some of the things they do not change? They do not change for you personally, or they do not change even if you meet someone that is going to come with new things that have to be, you know, contributed to the relationship, right? So some people, they will stick to the traditional view. nna ke monna Motswana nna se gore mosadi borukhu a ke di dumelle, you know. And then there's someone who would have both views, which is traditional and modern,
yeah.
and say, okay, now we are in the modern time, things are changing, they are fluid, as it says here that the modern view, love languages are fluid, they evolve with our experiences, maturity and emotional need. What you wished and aspired to be in the last 20 years might be different this year, or you may have outgrown it. Some other thing that I also want us to speak about, maybe it is going to be a topic for another day, but outgrowing your dreams, right? There are people who don't understand that sometimes they are not who they want, you know, to be, because you have outgrown that idea to say, okay, no, I've seen it, man. I've seen it, but now I think if I can put myself in this journey, I would be challenged the way I want to. Because other people, they want to grow facing challenges. Not only challenges, but difficult challenges. Put me in a chaotic situation, I will show you who I am. In the midst of chaos, we find who we are with most of the people, right? So with the perspective views, man, the traditional view and the modern view, I think it's one of the things that a lot of people are missing right here. You know, like we are,
we confuse the two.
They confuse the two. You know.
Yeah. And it's very interesting that you mentioned that actually. I watch those Jubilee videos on YouTube. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Where they've put a panel of about 10 men. 5 men who are traditional and 5 men who are modern, right? And it's a perfect example that you used of the pants thing. And it's a typical one. It's a small one, I think, in my view. Of saying, Musadi Musadi can wear jeans. Like in the church, I'm Catholic myself, and you can come along and wear jeans. It's like, Then there's like Apostola where a man has to wear a jacket and a tie.
You're not even allowed to come in the space wearing,
skip a fella V-neck. No, chief. You need to wear a jacket and a tie. And you need to come wearing a dress or a skirt. Right, with having covered your shoulders. So, for example, go Roma, tshwantse o tle magetla o wa khurumeditse. It's just a rule and a tradition in church. But fela, if you're in the church, we and just be decent. That's all they ask for. But I think also maybe it might differ from parish to parish. Parish St. Angela, if we were not so strict. So modern versus traditional. There are men. Paneling the Jubilee video. These men are like, the man has to be the provider. I need to go out and work, and the woman has to take care of the household. And I don't know. I feel like you say, the world has evolved so much that we're living in the modern age, and not that those traditional views don't work or don't apply, right? But it's also about, I feel like, and I could be wrong, I stand to be corrected, but they have somewhat of a barrier that they create or that they have around people who believe in them to this day, right? In the sense that you're putting yourself in a box. I'll make an example. People who say, I have a type. There's nothing wrong with having a type. Well, understand that. And a girl will come and say, my type is tall, dark, and handsome, right? And you meet a short musi, a light-skinned musi, an average-looking musi. Someone who takes care of themselves, I think I'm decent. You won't be embarrassed going with me in a crowd or to people or to your friends or family or whatever the case, right? You and I meet and we hit it off. Yeah, and it's like a vibe, man. We have energy. We have, we're vibrating on the same level. But of course, when you said your type is tall, dark, and handsome, you've closed yourself off from what could probably be an amazing guy. You could have developed such a great relationship, right? Mara causeway na we let's go boxing tall, dark, and handsome.
Not being open-minded.
You won't understand. I don't think it's even open-mindedness because I'm not an open-minded individual. I don't think I am anyway. There's certain things that I won't do them. I don't do them. I won't do them. Like but I've chosen that path for myself. So I don't think open-mindedness is even stretching it even further, But open-mindedness is, hey, chief, you are open. You are, and there's nothing wrong with it. But this thing of traditional views, I feel it's that example of closing yourself in a box or putting yourself in a box of saying, I do this way. This is how. Traditional, because the world is evolving, the world is growing, technology, life, spoken language, clothes, the music that we listen to, the things that we consume. There's the Vooka breakfast show that was not there a year ago. Chief, one understand. So I think I'm slightly a bit more modern, but I do take a bit from the views that is traditional. So you compare the two, you see what works, you see what doesn't work, so that you are adaptive. You adapt to what is happening now, and Because the world will pass you by, Chief. Lefatshe le tlo go feta we eme mo tseleng, o papa maboroto le 50 rand. You know, my aunt always says that when they were growing up, they used to make a joke about saying, Boroto one day is going to be 20 rands. We're living in that time now. And she's like, yo, it's so funny. Years ago, over 20 years ago, it's
happening.
It's happening. We're there. So imagine when I'm not saying, Chief, there's no way bread will be 20 rands. There's no way. But it's like, Chief, so...
And 10 rand straight.
Straight,
Like
exactly. 11 to 12 rands. Exactly. So are you saying you won't buy bread winner? Because Boroto get 20 rand now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, man. But also, each to their own. We're not saying it should be a thing.
Yeah.
It should be a standardized thing. But it would be nice that we are individuals who are able to adapt to what life brings us now.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to this thing on the news saying people are using ChatGPT as their psychologist, Chief. People are not necessarily researching, but they
There's
want
chat
to have
AIs now on
yeah,
WhatsApp,
like they want to
man.
have like a conversation and be listened to. You understand? And because why? I feel like the people around me don't get me, they don't understand me, and I don't know how to
Yeah.
relay these messages, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but earlier on, Zinzi came through, or Zinzi Elizabeth saying all love languages apply to everyone with rankings. However, we all have a primary love language. My primary love language is quality time,
Yeah.
right? And then TK came through. Maybe Nabona Africa Peruka, right? But she's here, she's involved, she's with us. And then Tembim is saying, wow, Vooka team, our best motivators, best speakers, and great teachers. Yes, we are learning every day. Keep up the good teachings. Thanks a lot. Hey, man,
Really
very cool stuff.
appreciate
Yeah,
it, man.
man.
Yeah, but just let us your final thoughts right there. 13 minutes till we hit 10 o'clock and say goodbye. Just to, digest that information, or if you want to share those thoughts with us, let's take a short break, and then when we come back, man, we're going to continue with the rest of what we have for you.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swell Appeal Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swell Appeal Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Hey, family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Miss
My name is Ketuake Tumguni.
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you, and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now, I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
This is Ted, the Wild Irish Comedian. You're watching Vooka Breakfast Show. Tune in every morning, Monday to Friday.
The Youth Business Launchpad by Protea Glenmore in partnership with Iatile Events and the Vooka Breakfast Show, man. This Youth Month, all cooks, vendors, chefs, and food business owners are invited to showcase their product offerings on the 28th of June at the Market Day in Protea Glenmore. All we need you to do is to come out in numbers and have the experience of what is going to be taking place right here at Protea Glen. We know that is Youth Month, and we have a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs on the block that are coming up. It is an opportunity for you guys to come in and also showcase what you have. And also, if you love food, just to explore what other people are doing out there, this is a good opportunity for you. So let us go back and look into what is going to be happening. If you make quarters,
African cuisines, non-alcoholic beverages, snacks, packaged food like acha, biltong, plates, desserts, frozen foods. This event is definitely for you. We know that there are people who specialize in making that decorated acha, bringing in the spices, the sauces inside of it, man. Also beverages, man. We have seen a lot of entrepreneurs coming up with newly branded beverages that they have made for themselves. So we are calling them to come on this day. So there will be workshops on how to take your business to the next level, mentor and meaty pairing, and online courses from the Vooka Academy, and much more. We know that when it comes to being informative and getting the information that you need for your business is what you need. I mean, we know that starting a business is not an easy thing that you can do as an individual or as a team. So this is an opportunity for you to come there and learn, because Vooka Academy has so much in store for you, man. Right? So propel your food business forward by learning from industry experts. On the day, there are going to be people who have been in the game or in the industry for such a long time, who can't wait to share their journey, their experience, and their advices on how you
Four minutes till we hit 10 o'clock, and apologies with that. We had some technical issues, but our best technical teams right there, they have solved it for you. But with that being said, man, we were just about to conclude the conversation we were just having with evolving love languages, man. We would like to hear some of your thoughts as the conversation continue, man. This does not only stop here. You can also go to our YouTube or maybe comment after this live streaming, and just let us know, man, what you think. So of course we always have the questions for the audience, right? And one of those questions is, have your love languages changed over time, and what triggered the shift? Was it a breakup, a baby, a burnout, or just growing older? Right, so we want to hear from you right there at home by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. That have your love languages changed over time? Or if you're someone who did not know about love languages and you want to be introduced to them, what do they mean? Because sometimes we come up with stuff that are new to teach people about them. But okay, let me just take you through love languages. What are they and what are their meanings? So the first one that we have is words of affirmation. That is the first love language we have on the list. So what does words of affirmation mean? It means expressing love through verbal appreciation and compliments, right? a lot of people, they seek affirmation in in their relationships. So they want to be told they look beautiful. They want to be told they're looking good. If you do not tell them that, it will actually mess up their day, or mess up their feelings about you. That is words of affirmation. If you are that person who likes being told, if you like being told that you look beautiful, you like being told that, don't worry, man, this relationship is not going anywhere. People always like to be reaffirmed of the relationship status. It's not that when I'm quiet, I'm losing feelings for you. So reaffirm me that we are still strong and we are doing good. The second one is acts of service, right? Showing love by doing helpful things for your partner. Acts of services, if your partner is, have a lot of burden, in her shoulders by doing chores each and every time, and she has to go to work. Of course, man, you can do those little things just to show appreciation of the person she is. It can even not, do acts of service because you're seeing that they're struggling. But just by doing them, to show them that, when you're showing me love by doing helpful things, like doing chores for me, fetching the kids from daycare, things like that, they really appreciate them. So number 2 is acts of service. Number 3 is receiving gifts. Giving thoughtful gifts as a symbol of love. Are you someone who loves giving gifts? Are you someone who loves getting gifts? It is your love language. Each and every time when someone, give you gifts, they're speaking the same language as you. Are you that person? Talk to us right there. And then the second last one is quality time, right? Spending undivided attention and engaging in meaningful conversation, right? So quality time is looked into you being with your partner each and every time, or maybe setting time for quality time. We know that we are living in a busy world, man. Days are moving rapidly. So as much as time and days are moving rapidly, people are trying to, find things about themselves, So are you that person who loves spending quality time with their partners? And then the last one is physical touch. Expressing love through physical affection, such as hugs and kisses. Each and every time you are touched, they are speaking your language. So understanding your love language can enhance communication and deepen emotional connection in relationship. That is a conversation that we were having right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. All you need to do, man, is just let us know if you're someone who has been using or practicing love languages. Have they changed over time right now? Maybe you have been in the dating space for like 50 to 70 years. Even our grandparents, man, they have love languages. It's just that they can't communicate them. I mean, yes, your granny might have their own love language. You say, you know what? I love getting gifts, man. I love quality time, right? So, in summarizing everything, guys, do love languages evolve? And the answer seems to be yes.
Yes, definitely.
Right? If we let them, like any love language, love needs to be learned, practiced, sometimes retranslated. The key is staying curious about your partner's needs and your own. So that is our today's discussion, man. Drop a comment if you have anything to say when it comes to love language. And let us continue to learn, man. Learning does not take anything away from you, man. It really doesn't, man.
It actually grows you.
Yeah, man. You grow, you become a different person. And of course, you can also familiarize yourself with your own. The more you learn, the more you get familiar with your own demons. Some people, they can't even face themselves. But we know people who have mastered their own demons. They're friends with their demons now, and nothing negative can affect them because they have learned.
I'm striving to become that person. I'm working on a day-to-day basis. I'm working on myself more.
Best feeling.
I'm working on communicating better. I'm working on listening better.
Yeah.
I'm constantly and continuously working on being more understanding. I'm working on not being selfish. Like I really put in the work into being a decent, good person in society. Look, I get talk about I'm not money, and I don't expect to be loved by everyone.
Yeah.
As much as I personally do not gravitate towards everyone. I don't want to say I don't love.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. I don't like. I guess for lack of a better word, everyone. Yeah. So, but I do. I put in a lot of work, man, to be an individual who grows, who learns, who evolves.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah.
Let me. What's your love language? Let me ask you, because you asked us. What's your love language?
Physical touch and quality time.
Okay.
No, but acts of service. Why am I lying, man? Physical touch and acts of service, man.
Okay.
Like I love doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. E re ko go tshware. E re ke tshware mo, ke tshware kwa. Yeah, man. But I love doing services for people. I won't lie,
nice,
man. You
man.
know. So, also I've realized that, when it comes to the acts of service, it's something that I grew into,
Okay.
and realizing, oh man, the more I learn some other things that I didn't know about myself, the more I gravitate towards other love languages, And it's not only the 5, I mean, I believe there's more, It's not only the 5, the physical touch, acts of service. There are a lot, there are a lot. As much as we looked into the traditional and the modern perspectives, So as time goes, the more we evolve, man, the greater we become as human beings.
Yes.
So, yeah, I am willing to explore other ones, and look into what other people love, of course, because you will meet someone who loves all 5, and you will have to adapt to that.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no.
I mean, like, yo, man.
There's no way. I don't think you can be someone who you can't speak in 5 languages with one person.
Hey man, things happen. We evolve, Akir, and when animals they adapt to an environment, is it mutilating? Yeah, I think it's mutilating. Like it's cutting off. So there's this thing, man, that animals do to a point that they learn the environment, they adapt to it, and yeah, man, it's migrating, but there's this other weight, they use scientifically, that there are certain animals that have adapted to certain environments,
Okay.
and, they become,
Integrate.
integrate. No, man. But it has you in it, man. It has you. I remember that weight,
We'll look for it.
We'll look for it. So, yeah, man, things happen. So, I see right there Hector coming through saying, Mo, services. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I give you that mercy. Yeah, man. But yeah, acts of service, physical touch is one of the things because, I believe COVID-19 taught us how important human interaction and human touch is, man. Because, for a moment you were like, oh my goodness. And it's,
Sexual.
sexual. No, man, just being around your friend. Handshake, man. Man, human interaction is something that is very important and can't be taken away. Technology is trying, to take it away. They're trying to divide us, as human beings. They're trying so hard to divide
and have
us.
us be individuals who are in silos.
Yeah,
It
man.
can
So,
happen.
yeah.
I think for me, now that I think about it, I love quality time.
Quality time, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's in the smallest of things. I think maybe Nakapela life as a movie, guys. Cause I watch so many movies. I've watched and I still do watch a lot of movies. I actually watched Thunderbolts. Over the weekend.
Yeah.
It was cool. We'll talk about it on Thursday. The movie review. But it's in the smallest of things, and cause ke phela si movie and ke sheba di movie tse dingata, so I think I trained myself and my mind and my thoughts and just how I perceive things. No gotta go moving.
Yeah, but movies it's stories depicted from real life.
Yeah, no, definitely. Art reflects life.
Exactly.
But not like this thing of running in a mall somewhere or in the airport for my girlfriend or the girl that I like. No, but
the rain scenes.
No. But I love quality time.
Yeah.
Let's go shopping together.
Yeah.
Like that's me. I don't know how to cook, But cook, I'll stand in the kitchen with you. I'll chop with you.
Yeah.
Won't understand that. Let's what do you want? Should we go to the doctor? Or that's just me. It's in the smallest of things. Like you create bonds in the smallest of things for me. Just spending time for me is what you know. Like Jula mo ke robetse, Jula mo pele ga ka.
Just be around.
Just
like
be
your
around.
presence.
Yeah, just be around me. Let's spend time together. More than, I think, body acts of service and touching and stuff like that.
Like there's something that people do not understand. It doesn't mean like when we are always together, we have to yap, man. You know, sometimes it's your
Sit there in
presence.
silence.
You
Yeah,
know,
just
sit
sit in
yo. Domnyama. But it's
They cannot sit in silence. Just even watching a movie these days with like your partner, it's like become a bit of a problem. You can watch a movie in silence and just like fully indulge in the entertainment. Ooh, Moshe, oh. Ooh, I wonder you wanna no. Hey, no, I can't keep move. Hey, no, man. No.
No, man. I mean, with movies, guys, there's something that people do not understand. And I've seen it when we try to translate, you know, movies and apply them in our real lives. Because a lot of things can happen by watching a movie in 10 minutes. You know, and when are you thinking you can do the same thing in your life? You know, this guy, you know, is having this wonderful relationship, moves into a new job. 10 minutes, you're watching this, you know. And then when you know, Vana, your life, Baba, it takes 3 days, you know, to even come up with something.
Yeah.
So time, you know, the patience that you need to have. Because movies, they're like summarized, you know, for that whole 1 hour or 2 hour movie to be put together, it's a summarized thing
of life.
One thing about people, filmmakers, man, they're so smart to a point that they can summarize things that can happen for 30 years, man.
Art, Mo. It's the gift of art, the gift of craft.
On,
and so, I think today, Sincerely Tuesday, I choose my gift. I choose my craft.
Yeah.
And I'm always grateful. Like I think a week or 2 weeks ago, I'm always grateful for the gift of craft, the gift of art, the gift of being an executioner in the space, the gift of being a practitioner of my art form. I think, guys, like we vibrate in very different ways. We reflect life in very interesting ways. And man,
and it's always interesting to learn, man,
absolutely,
you know, from artists.
I'm seeing a lot of people are watching Sarafina because it started about 2 weeks ago at the Joburg Theatre. Man, I remember quite a few members of the cast this year. I know quite a few of them. And it's interesting seeing people's reactions of what the stage play is like. I know it. I've went and I watched and I've been part of the cast myself. And like Mutai Shaba for the first time, it's like, yo, because I'm seeing some of the cast members on social media, on Facebook, WhatsApp and stuff. They keep posting the video from the audience. And it's crazy how to this day people still resonate with that movie. And man, but
11 minutes past 10, man, and that's where we are leaving you. Vooka Nation, man, thank you so much for being with us until the end of the show, man. And we had some technical difficulties and you guys came back, man, and showed your loyalty, and we appreciate that so much. And you know, man, each and every day after 10 o'clock, that's where, you know, we leave our final thoughts right here for you, and we prepare for the rest of the day just to look into what the day has for us. It's still June, celebrating Youth Month, you know, commemorating. It was not only yesterday. Celebrations were not only yesterday, man. Let us celebrate young people. If you happen to have any information about where young people can get, opportunities, please do make sure you share them with us right here. And we will see each other, man, tomorrow. Same time, same place right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. But before I leave right there, I see Hector coming through saying my love language is understanding and spending time together and making good memories. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, man.
I resonate with that so much. Like, there was once a time I was and then I don't know, I don't want to say I outgrew it, but I just stopped taking pictures like that. Like I was mototsang video snap like random manje. Because looking back on those pictures and videos, it's memories
that you cherish always.
And I want, like, now that I think about it, there's so many moments I didn't capture in my life. And I mean, they'll always be with me, of course.
Yes.
But I didn't capture
You're the only one who knows.
Yeah, you know. And whenever I talk about it, I don't have proof and say. And I think we, as a society, we need to get to the point where we capture moments, you know, especially as the black society.
Yeah.
Especially as the black society, we create great memories and capture those moments.
Yeah, because as much as you can draw a picture, you can also show people
it.
the picture, right?
Yeah.
And then Harmony Mjali coming to say, hello, beautiful people. Sivugile ngalesikhathi ndoda. Well, I understand uvugile, but
ungena sesiphuma.
uyaphuma siyaphuma uyangena. But yeah, man, shout out for you for joining in, man. You can just look at the rest of the stream after we've just stopped it, because right now, man, we're about to leave, about to bounce and continue with other things that we have on our day. So the conversation does not only stop here, man. Do make sure that you connect with us throughout all social media platforms. Remember, it's Vooka Breakfast Show. All you need to do, if you haven't subscribed, do the right thing. If you haven't certified as the Vooka Nation member, please do so right there. And there are different deals that you can look and scroll. 10 rands, man.
10 rands a month, guys. 10 rand. Oh, guys, 10 rand so that everyone, when they jump on the comment section their names have stars next to them. We want people whose names have stars. I mean, we appreciate everyone, but we want everyone to have a star on their name. So guys, yeah, man, do the things that are necessary to be done, man.
Do the things, man. From me, Mo, guys, I am a Moketi man, aka Max for maximum temperature. I am the son of Mother Nature. I'm the host of the KTS from the ASM Chronicles. It's something that will help you in the future. Keeping informative brings a transformation into your life. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Coolios.
Yes, and for me, Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blades, but the darker the berry, the sweeter than Tuntun. Imnandi mam yama mam tlopilik tikatekin but marloka famana me wetai komakatle. His song on a man.
Very cool stuff cool things that we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. I was so happy. And I've been excited to have been in your company and in your presence on this lovely Tuesday morning, the 17th of June, 2025. The time right about now is 15 minutes after the hour 10 o'clock. God willing, let you and I see each other bright and early on a Wednesday morning tomorrow, so that we can have a great energy exchange, share our thoughts, our opinions, and everything else in between. And so that we can have all-encompassing, compelling, and of course, thought-provoking conversations that are aimed at giving so much information and knowledge. Stay safe. Stay warm, stay hydrated, stay cautious on those roads, so that, God willing, like I said, you and I can spend some great quality time tomorrow morning. But with that being said, from myself, the one and only MOOCEE Mist, my name is Musi Mist, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Cool stuff. Enjoy the rest of your day.